deeper. Oh, real talk, we gather round. Stories to unfold. Beauty, tears, and laughter. Secrets to be told. Messy gossip flows like tea. Hot, fresh, sweet. Living like we're shining bright. Our waters while we sing the whole. Spill the tea. Just you and me. Laughing through the night. Smiling and free. Spill the tea. Just you and me. Laughing through the night.
Girl, did you hear what she did last summer? With her style and charm, she's a stunner. Flipping through gossip, the latest craze. Trying them to cook, oh how they dazzle they We keep it real, spilling the truth. In our circle of acquaintances, always from lipstick shades to celebs, we sharing the vibe, feel the energetic breeze. Page by page, we turn our worlds. Sit still and strong and life unfurled.
Hey, ladies and gents, we are back for round two. I almost didn't make it back, but I was like, I told them we were going to come back and do the story time, which was this story time is a subscriber's request. Okay. They're like, have you been seeing the story going around about Peyton? Let's talk about it. Everyone's, been discussing it and I want to talk about it. So I said, yeah, I'll bring it here on the front porch. Okay. I will say, I have not watched Payton in a minute, but she was one of my faves when I was like hooked on vlogs. So let me just give you a little rundown for the ones that aren't familiar with her channel here on YouTube. Peyton Marie Charles, and she calls her subscribers PayPals, has a channel here on YouTube where she has 160,000 subscribers, and she has videos like she's a vlogger, and she has videos that are about her being a single mom, her being living single in Dallas, shopping. She does lifestyle type vlogging, guys. I enjoy her travel vlogs. I like Peyton. I like her aesthetics. I just haven't been watching a lot of vlogs lately. I used to watch them all the time, but it's been a minute since I've watched Peyton. So when I heard about this dating story time that everyone was talking about, I was actually shocked. Um, and I've been seeing negative comments and positive comments, but more, I guess, negative probably because of where I am on YouTube. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Yes, I love me some Peyton, but don't watch her anymore. It's been a minute since I watched the two Sunshine, and it's not because I just got bored or anything like that. It's just that I just stopped watching. Nothing happened. I don't have any complaints because I like her aesthetics, and I made purchases off of Peyton recommendations. So it was nothing like that. I guess it's just like my appetite, what I'm going through, and trying to, build up my own channel. I just had not been watching her, but it wasn't no particular reason why. I stopped, and I'm still subscribed. Yep, I'm still subscribed to her channel. I wanted to check that because YouTube will unsubscribe you in a hot minute. But we're gonna get into the story time. Oh, hey everybody. I see y'all coming in. I think it's two different videos. We're gonna go to TikTok, and I do not believe they're more than 25 minutes. They're short videos, maybe 10 minutes. Same, I just don't have the time right. Let me speak to everybody in the chat. Hey, Leo lady. She said, I got my Long Island. Baby, she got the Long Island tea, honey, on the porch. It is Saturday Night Live. No, it's back as well. Bank is back from earlier. Miss E, thank you for being here and modding for me on today. I appreciate it. Hey, Sunshine. Hey, Chi-Town CPA. Oh, Lord. Listen, London, listen. Hey, I said what I said. Thank you for coming back too. Hey, Cross Country Cruise, her. I saw you over there leaving comments on one of my previous lives, not over on anything related to Peyton. Yes, baby, it's on Saturday Night Live on the front porch. I never watched her, but I also have stopped watching some of my faves. Yeah, life be lifing. Hey, Jim Chick, come on in, everyone. We'll wait a few more minutes. I'm not gonna do a porch talk, but I gave y'all a little background. Peyton is has a military background. She is a single mom to an adult kid. And she's just living life. You know, she is in her 40s. She's going through, the dating's ups and downs. And I thought, because we always talk about relationships over here, especially when it comes to Nesto, Shirley, and the temps, that it's something we could bring here, and it again was a recommendation from somebody in this chat. Okay. And I love to do the recommendations, and especially when it comes to something that I'm familiar with, and I don't have to do no real research because I am familiar with Payton. And I was just reading through some of the comments. A lot, like I said, there are some good and there are some bad ones. And for some reason, when it comes to the women, in these dating stories, we get a lot of slack. I mean, and the men just get, the ride off scot free. But y'all know me, I love to throw shade on these men. Pay a smart businesswoman, but the dating is questionable. Yeah, yeah. And sometimes we could be our own, our own worst enemy when it comes to dating, because we have this ideal guy, like in our mind, like tall, dark, and handsome, a certain aesthetics, and we get into dating just in that, parameter. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we do have to go outside the box, okay, and not just box ourselves in when it comes to us dating certain, people, yeah. And I'm guilty of that myself, y'all know me. If y'all listen to me, Cho, I have learned, and that's why I have zero tolerance, and I have certain things that's red flags to me. And baby, I be gone. I be gone. I don't have the time. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Get somebody else to do it. Okay, we waited a few minutes. Let's go ahead and get into it. Hopefully, if others do join us. I agree, Lady T-Bug. I'm talking to myself. Yeah. Like this, sure. I done been through it. That's why I do take the stance that I take now that I'm older. I'm glad I went through a whole bunch of bullshit when I was younger. So now it's zero tolerance. Okay. You ain't gonna nest on me. Mm-mm. Mm. All right. Hopefully, it's at the beginning.
One of my so I didn't plan on bringing this to TikTok, but one of my
Kind of
subscribers watched
low.
my Instagram story and she discussed it on TikTok. And she didn't mention my name, but there was one person who did. She put two and two together and did mention my name, and that one little tag was all it needed for me to now be discussed on TikTok. So I guess I'm just gonna discuss it on TikTok. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a YouTube live. I don't know. But
I'm
yeah,
like mom of
I
one
found
and
out my
chilling.
boyfriend, who's
Yes.
been in a lot of my most recent vlogs on YouTube, has been
Okay,
cheating
I'm
on me
familiar with
because
Raven Elise.
the woman came to me as a woman. After I showed his face in my vlog, I hadn't been showing his face. But my most recent vlog, when we went and got the dog, I did feel comfortable enough to show his face because I felt like we
I'm
was
gonna pause it right here because that's one thing I do. I can't say, and it's just not about Peyton, but just with me being a person that watch a lot of vloggers. Well, I used to. I don't do it. I just don't have the time right now. A lot of them will be dating guys and they will not show them, and then either the YouTube streets will be pet detectives. Let me stop, not pet detectives like Jim Carrey, but we'll be detectives and we will go and find these individuals because, depending on the person, the significant others who are they're dating and expose them out here. And then these people either come to YouTube, create their own channels, they get clout off of dating people that have big channels or have a big following, or you find out something like they're married, you know, something, it just takes a life of its own. It seemed like that may have been kind of what happened with Peyton. She was keeping it on the low, but letting the people know that she is dating. And I see from her comments that she had been dating this individual for 7 months. So this is not someone she was dating for 7 minutes or 7 days. So maybe she felt comfortable enough to show him when they went and got the dog. And here we go. Here we go.
so solid. We going on 7 months. This is
Hey,
somebody
Red.
that, got me back in the church. We pray together, we fast together, we go to church
Okay.
together. The pastor has prayed for us. I've met his family, I've met his friends. I didn't really have any reason to doubt him, even though I did have trust issues, because my biggest complaint in this relationship was he's always in his phone. And when he comes over here, our whole relationship, his phone always on do not disturb, always on silent. I've definitely had reservations, and um, we've discussed that. And he said that he was gonna get better because he didn't feel like he's always in his phone. But yeah, Sunday morning, right before Sunday service, that was the first thing I saw when I unlocked my phone is, please check your DM. DW, we're gonna call him DW, which is coincidentally the same initials as Darnell Wright from Thin Line Between Love and Hate. But yeah, she said DW is a cheater. She posted that twice under a collaborative reel. So it really wasn't my reel, it was my hairstylist reel. So of course, when someone collabs with you, you don't have control over what's being posted. You can't delete it, none of this. So, I asked him about it and he denied it, called her a stalker, blocked her from my phone. And, he was trying to move past it. But I had an attitude that whole Sunday. I couldn't move past it. And then I pick up my phone. I go through my DMs because I was just, reading DMs from, people still sending me happy birthday texts and commenting on my dog. So this one particular DM was right there at the top. It was a lady that I always talk to, always, since 2021. She was telling me that she was the girl's mom. And her daughter just found out last night that we are dating the same man. And she's devastated and she's hurt and all these things. And I'm like, wow. So now I'm having a panic attack. I call him downstairs. I'm like, what's this? He's still sticking with the stalker story. So Monday rolls around and, he's really acting like none of this is going on. You know what I'm saying? He is like, if I've ever met a narcissist or the devil, it would be him. Because like he hit me up like, babe, you want to make a music video? I'm like, no. I want to sit in this. I want to understand why this lady just texts me what she texts me. He's like, don't worry about it, babe. I'm going to get it handled. I'm sorry for that. This is, you're going through this, because I don't do drama, y'all. I
A
don't. I
music
don't bother
video.
nobody. People always fucking bothering me. I don't bother nobody, man. Like, for real. My world just got turned upside down. This nigga acting like none of this.
Listen, he talking about, do you want to do a music video? Like, sir, we trying to get to the bottom of who this lady is, why she's saying you're dating her, and he is just moving right along with his everyday, I guess, life plans, life goals. We need to back this thing up, and I need to get some understanding about what's going on. Cause Peyton said she was having a damn panic attack. Content, right, Miss E. Sunshine like panic attack. Listen, Peyton say she didn't know what was going on, honey. She can't breathe.
It even fucking matters. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when he brought up an old argument that we had already settled and I had apologized for, I kind of felt like
He's deflecting.
This was him deflecting, you know what I'm saying? And it made me want to, you know, find out more. So I just randomly get on TikTok because I had posted a video of my dog, you know what I'm saying? And because the video ain't doing numbers like that, I'm reading the comments. So when I scroll all the way down, it say 3 comments need to be reviewed. This is a video of my dog. I'm not even in it, y'all. It say 3 comments need to be reviewed. So when I click on it, it's the girl. She had, if TikTok didn't put this in the review, this would have been right there for everybody to see. It's the girl saying, I'm literally trying to tell you, me and DW just had sex this past Thursday, unprotected. We've been having unprotected sex for the past 2 months. I have been having feelings that he might have someone, and I've been asking him, do he have a girlfriend? And he keep telling me no. He has been living a whole double life, and it's been cheating on you. So I send him that, and I'm like flabbergasted. I'm like, why is this girl keep doing this publicly? Like, why she not even trying to be private? So this when I go to my private messages, which I never do because I'm not on TikTok like that. If I'm on TikTok, I'm ordering shit. So lo and behold, she had sent 3 long messages on TikTok in the private messages, and one thing stuck out to me when she said she found a lash at his house. And I had already asked him, like, have y'all been messing with each other this year? He said she ain't never been in his house. Like, he's sticking to the stalker story. When she said she found a lash at his house, I said, this girl is not lying. Because when it comes to lashes, I'm all over his house. I'm all over my house. I be thinking they spiders on the floor. Because I got a bad habit of picking them out and let them drop where they fall. And I know that's probably trifling, but I'm actually glad I do that. So after this, I also read him those messages. At this point, like, that boy should get the Golden Globe or whatever you get when you can act real good. Because, I mean, he was acting like she really just made all this stuff up out of thin air. And I watch a lot of Lifetime movies. I don't know about that. Like, I don't like, she had dates, everything, and the dates lined up to when we was beefing over stuff, you know what I'm saying, and having disagreements in our little, you know, relationship spats and stuff like that. It lined up when I wasn't with him. If she had picked any days when I know we was together and I spent the night and he was over here, then I would have been like, yeah, she lying. But her dates lined up to when we was beefing, or I was on my period or something, you know what I'm saying? So he brought up an old argument and tried to deflect, and then when I read him her whole TikTok private message, I crashed out, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, I crashed out, and I threatened him, and I was like, I'm gonna be at your house when you get off work, because I had keys to his house. But I calmed down, then I reached out to her. I said, hey, you know, because she seemed so hurt, you know what I'm saying? She was devastated, just as devastated as I am, you know what I'm saying? But in that moment, I was so angry, I couldn't even really feel what I was supposed to be feeling. As you know, I couldn't feel no pain. Like that numbed me, because all I saw was blood. I ain't even gonna lie to you. So when I calmed down, I was like, hey, would you be interested in meeting me at his apartment so we can discuss, or would that be odd? And she was like, yeah, absolutely. I'm like, I just wanna, you know, be able to express our feelings without being gaslit, because what he's saying about you don't align with the screenshots. Because once I reached out to her and told her to send me the screenshots, man, say, like, and he's a Libra, y'all, and when I tell you I thought Geminis could lie, baby, Libras, They are never, ever defeating the lying ass Libra allegations.
Hey everyone that's joining us. Hey Rat Rat. Hey Flya. Welcome everybody. Hey Vic to the Veil. I see my little sis down there. Come on into the room. Listen, Miss E said, go with your gut. But what are we meeting for? What are we meeting for? Because, okay, let me just say this about myself. Y'all know the ones that y'all be on here on the porch with me. I have said this before. I am a person that do not need closure. I don't need to have no meeting of the minds. We don't need to discuss anything because if I believe it's true, like Miss E said, I'm gonna follow my gut. And I'm not expecting for you to sit there and give me a rundown or a play-by-play, of you cheating on me, right? Because if I don't trust you, what are we here for? What are we here for? And at this point, with this lady sending me screenshots and reaching out to me, that's all I need. That's all I need. That's all the proof I need. I'm sorry. I don't understand what they're supposed to be meeting about. Reminds me of a Eddie Murphy skit from one of his stand-ups. It wasn't me. Stone Cold busted, but steady saying it wasn't me. All right. Shaking my head. I hope she gets tested. Right. Because you never know. And if he's so freely, out here having sex unprotected, and that's another thing. Like, okay, you're letting me know that he's been cheating on me and that y'all have a sexual relationship. Why are we harping on it was unprotected sex over and over and over again? I don't feel like that was needed. It's just like, yes, we are dating, okay, and we have had sex. I don't feel like you need to even go that deep and it's unprotected and we just had it on last night. Why? I mean, it's like she trying to drill in, girl. I think she believes you at this point. I see time and time again with the YouTube girlies who are successful. Yeah, they think the materialistic things should earn them loyalty from these ninjas. Okay? All the money, trips, clout means nothing to a Dusty. Right. And we see that with Nesto, right? Lies. Libras only lie when necessary. Okay. Victor the Bell said when we pushed, okay, we will lie. No men just lie no matter the sign. Okay. Hey chick, how you doing? Geminis, we don't lie. We tell you what we want to tell you. Period. Hey chick, hey TD Will. Right, that's not safe. Not these days. Right, because at the end of the day, yes, she has showed you a little receipts. You do feel like you could trust her. But what is the meetup for? Like, okay, do he need to be pointed out in the lineup? I mean, he's not going to admit it, right? And some of these ninjas will look a chick in the face and be like, I don't know her. I ain't never met her. True. Lady got a whole video. It'd be too much. The hex part I can agree with, but I am reformed. Ooh, 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 ooh. Vic to the veil. He would love to have seen me again. Right. It's like, give me my key. Here's your key. I'll holler or he'll figure it out. The closure door is closed. I'm just saying. Like, what the hell else do we have to talk about? A meeting open doors for things to go left. Right. Did she not watch It's a Thin Line? That's one of my movies. You like that movie that was referenced by Bank? And I know I'm done, then I'm done. New address, new phone number, okay, hairdo, new everything, new, and car. Bye. I watched too much Snap, right? Fatal Attraction, okay. Peyton said, I got the content, baby, and do. No, she do need to know so she can get tested ASAP and see how he moves. I think she's letting her know that he's your man, but yet he don't mind sleeping with her raw. He don't even care about protecting his or her health. That is true. That is true. These ninjas ain't loyal. The door is closed. In the words of Nene, close the door. But he seems like the unhinged one. He jumped on the girl like a beta. Really? Oh, we gotta hurry up and get to that part.
Not. They grave walkers and grave talkers, baby. Whatever lie they got, they taking it to the grave for sure. So, we end up meeting at the bowling alley instead because I guess I scared him because I did threaten him. And I was like, hey, change of plans. We not meeting at his house. He told me to follow him to this bowling alley. I don't know the name, so I'm going to send you my location and the lane we at. Now, I thought two things was going to happen. When she pulled up, I thought he was either going to walk off and be dismissive or deny me like he was just playing me and using me for clout. I really thought he was going to walk off. So because I thought he was going to walk off, when we started bowling, I wouldn't let him hold my dog because I didn't want him to walk off with my dog. And we started bowling. He was like, what we playing for? I'm like, if I win, you get to tell the truth. No, if you win, you get to tell the truth. And if I win, I get to tell the truth. And if I won, I was going to tell him that she was on the way. But I already knew that I wasn't going to win. I'm playing with a fucking dog in my hand, and I can't bowl that good. I got on nails. So anyway, as I'm bowling, I sit down, and it's his turn, and he throws my phone down, and he's like, hello? So I didn't plan on bringing this to TikTok, but one of my subscribers watched my Instagram story, and she discussed it on TikTok. And she didn't mention my name, but there was one person who did. She put my bad, y'all. I genuinely thought somebody was in my house because my house is still brand new, so it be making noises, and it should be sounding like somebody opening the door. It's scary as fuck. Shit, me and my dog jumped up. But yeah, so when I went to bowl, I'm literally bowling with my dog in my left hand and the bowling ball in my right. He like, so you gonna bowl with the dog in your hand? I'm like, yeah. He like, why? And I'm like, cause it's us against you. And he looked around like, I feel like he knew the hidden message in it. You know what I'm saying? The subliminal message in it. So when I went to bowl, he grabbed my phone, but I didn't notice because it was behind my back. You know what I'm saying? I didn't notice until afterwards. He called the girl and told her, if you come in here, I'm going to kill you. And he hung up the phone. So when he was hanging up the phone, I was walking back, sitting down on the couch, and he had threw my phone down on the couch. And he was like, if she come in here, I'm going to kill her. And I'm like, what? So I looked down and I'm like, did he just throw my phone? And so he had walked off when I looked down to see what he had, did he put my phone down? Because I'm like, ain't no way. Like, how would he know that?
See, this is very dangerous. Like, you have her coming here, and then he is saying the K word. Like, this is not nothing to play with, in my opinion. And that's the thing. You're bringing someone here to confront somebody. And one thing we know about people when they have their back against the wall, you don't know what their reaction is going to be. Some people, when they're backed up against the wall, they may want to fight. It sounds like he's going to resort to violence, honey. And then some people may cry. You don't know what their reaction is because that's a moment that's unpredictable. So to bring someone there and have someone to say that they want to kill somebody, they want to unalive somebody because they're coming to tell their truth is weird to me. And she looking around like, is my phone here, baby? Fuck that phone. I'm finna go. Okay, it's security up in here. This is too much. She should have left the dog at home. The one thing Peyton is going to do is crack a joke. Baby, when she said hello, I'm looking around too. Like, who is this, somebody in my house? She got me paranoid about to have a panic attack. I guess she's a content creator, but sharing this tea is too much for me. Hopefully it'll help someone. I don't know. you know. Bowling, why are we still hanging out? Well, she did mention, Miss E, that she was going to meet him at his apartment and have the young lady to come there and they confront him, but maybe he followed, his gut and wanted to meet in a public setting, which he told her to meet him at the bowling alley. And no lock on the phone. Do we not have facial recognition, pin code, or anything? I mean, he just went in the phone and started searching. Yeah, but unfortunately, folks are nosy on these streets, and they are. And I think she wanted to drop her own tea and not let them tell what they think went down. I could see that. I don't know her content or her, but I'm listening. Danger, danger. Yes, like security. Where's the exit? Why did those words even come out his mouth? Right. It's like he knew something was up. Y'all think girl may have tipped him off? But keep listening. She's still gonna take up for him saying, I don't think he'll do that. Oh my girl. Okay. Peyton, ma'am, you played with your life and everyone in that bowling alley. Hey, Aries one. Confronting someone is a dangerous game. I agree. She just went through the same exact thing with the last man 8 months ago. Baby, I'm not confronting no man, right? I agree with you because to me, if you got to do all that, we already know this is not the relationship that I need to be in, right? If you're going through all this as a grown woman or a grown man, it's time to cut the ties, okay? It's just time to cut the ties. And we didn't even talk about the red flags to me, which was red flags when she was saying that when she met him, them getting back in the church, they had basically a relationship with the pastor. We have determined over here on the front porch when these people talking about church and God, they be scammers. Okay, they be scamming, they be frauds. I mean, I'm sorry, but it seems like that is a very common denominator amongst scammers and frauders. Okay.
So when I turn back around, man, they in the bowling alley. They are in the bowling alley tussling. She's screaming, "Yeah, bitch! Yeah, you ate my." You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my
She know
God.
everything. She the one that called me up here. I done already sent her all the screenshots. So like all I see is I'm walking over there with
See,
my
you didn't
dog
know
in the
these
little
people,
green
Payton.
sling, y'all.
This is
I'm walking over
dangerous.
there, they tussling. Like she done picked up a chair and
Girl, I
threw
would
it
have
at
walked out.
him. He trying to break her phone. He trying to break her car keys. He done took all her stuff from her. So she
Where's the
chasing him.
popo?
The
Somebody call the
employees in the
police.
bowling alley, because ain't nobody but us in the bowling alley. Because it was like Monday afternoon, like after work, so it really ain't nobody in the bowling alley but the employees. So the employees trying to break them up, I'm trying to break them up,
Hey,
but
a
I'm like over
lady.
there where she at, you know what I'm saying? So she had picked up a chair and I was like, not holding her back, but like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of in between them, like, nah, like this wasn't the
See, this
point,
how
you know what
somebody
I'm
get
saying? Like this wasn't what this was
unalive.
about. And he's yelling, you a stupid stalker B, you a stupid stalker B. He just kept saying that, and she saying, yeah, she know everything, you ate me out, she know I was just over your house last Thursday. I mean, that shit crazy. Like
Baby, I would have been up the
I
road.
couldn't have made this shit up. I couldn't
You
have
still
scripted
was there,
this. I couldn't have
Payton?
scripted this at all. So then they put her out the bowling alley.
Why?
He's like, Peyton, get over here. She was like, you see how he just yelled at you? That nigga's dangerous. That nigga's dangerous. So they put her out the bowling alley, locked the doors, me and him on the inside. They getting ready to call the police. So as I'm walking over to him, he was like, if I go to jail, you know who fault it is. I'm like, so I sit down and I'm like, why you react like that? That's not what this was about. Like, I invited her up here so I could get the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Girl,
Like,
this is
we
not
was
no
supposed to sit down
intervention.
like civil adults and have a adult conversation. Because you calling this girl a stalker, saying she...
Girl, this is not an intervention with two people that you love and you trying to bring together. No, ma'am. These is strangers. Okay, this lady messaged you. You never had a one-on-one, face-to-face conversation with her. You don't know her history. You don't know what she was coming up there to do. Okay, and when things popped out, baby, I would have been in my car. I would have been gone. I'm not sitting here to see how this thing play out, because this is too much to me. Anytime as a woman I have to talk to another woman about my man, that is too much for me. Okay? Because you should not have to ever have a conversation with another woman about your man. Period. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's somebody that's flirting with them, being disrespectful, approaching your man, then yes, you're gonna put them on notice. But when it comes to us having this type of conversation, what's going on with Peyton and this guy and this other woman, baby, this is too much, and I'm too grown for this. I'm too old for this. Like, no, ma'am. This is crazy, and it's very dangerous. I'm gonna say that one more time. Straight up scamming. The religious folks scare me. Hey, Lady T-Bug coming out the bushes to say amen. Thank you, a lady. Yep, a different boyfriend, and a viewer was sleeping with him. That's why I was shocked that she had a new boyfriend a month later. Oh my God. Hell to the no. Peyton, honey, you were playing in fire. Yes. Hey, Kim, how you doing? My buddy from the kingdom. She said, she tried to break them up. She jumped in it, right. And see, with my bad luck, I would have been leaving her with a black eye. The sad thing is she just got custody of her daughter. 3 years ago, and she has to be subjected to this crap. Isn't her daughter grown now? Hey, Miss Boogie Down. Me too, exit stage and left. Why? I'm not trying to break up nothing, right? Because I don't really know what the hell going on at this point. But what I do know is I got to get the hell up out of here. Peyton is brave. She went from having a panic attack to trying to break up a fight. All this is her fault. Peyton, you don't know that man after 7 months. This is different from her Insta story I saw about this. She was crying, boogers, not tears. She was going through it. I got you. Right, Lady T-Bug, I totally agree. I don't understand how she just told the chick to come up there like that, because that could have went a different way. I agree with you, Kim. Peyton set this up. You think she set it up, Sunshine? Her daughter just turned 18, so she's not grown. Oh, I thought 18 was an adult. And you would not need to get custody of someone that's an adult. That's why I was like, wait a minute, it's her daughter. Well, for me, that's grown because you legal. You don't need my permission anymore. So maybe that's where I'm coming from. Because at 18, my daughter had graduated from high school and she was in college. She ain't, she need me, like I ain't have to sign no more permission slips. Sure, Peyton, girl. Uh-oh.
Trolling me and all this stuff, but she right here with receipts, right? So when the police come, I'm
What
not really
happened?
knowing how good this man can lie yet. You know what I'm saying? Because he's sticking to the stalker story, but I know he can lie because I done already seen the receipts. So the police come. The police walk over. He was like, what's going on? He was like, she's a stalker. She's stalking my girlfriend. She followed us up here. I'm looking at him like,
Why?
no, she didn't. So now I'm like, oh, this man can lie convincingly,
But
right?
did you tell him
So
you
every
invited
time
her?
he lied, I'm looking like, I can't help myself. Like, I'm looking at him like, nigga, you lying. So the police see it and they like, can we separate y'all so we can get separate statements? So the police was just like, go across the room. But I'm like, can I go outside and walk my dog? Because I already know, like, I'm finna give y'all the tea. Because I ain't got nobody to protect. Because ain't nobody protecting me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm outside, walking, pressing so he can pee. The police come outside and he was like, can you tell me what happened? I'm like, yeah. He was like, what? So, what's going on? I said, well, I'm the girlfriend. And that situation was him fighting with the girl he cheated on me with. And the police are like, I'm like, yeah, if anybody should have been crashing out, it should have been me. So he was like, did you see him assault her? Because her mouth was bleeding. I was like, I'm not protecting him, but I did not see him assault her. What I saw was him grabbing her stuff, trying to smash her phone. So, I mean, she couldn't show me any more
Isn't that
receipts in
assault?
it. And she picked up a chair and threw it at him. I did see her mouth bleeding, but I don't know how her mouth was bleeding. Like, my right hand of God, like, I did not see him hit her, right? So I stayed
Do they have
outside because
cameras in
I
there?
didn't need him looking at me upside my head and playing victim like I set him up, because that wasn't the case. Like, at the end of the day, I am the one that was betrayed, okay? I am. So I stayed outside with
The
Preston
lady
for a
was
little while. I
betrayed
was
too
on the
because
phone with
she
my
didn't know about
cousin, like
you.
telling her everything going on. She's like literally like she can't believe this shit, because I'm telling you, this shit was like a movie. And then after I got off the phone with her, another police officer asked me my statement in for my driver's license. Then I walked over to the girl and I was like, I know you're not okay, but are you okay? She was like, Peyton, I plead the blood of Jesus, my right hand of God. I never would have thought that this man would have put his hands on me. Like, because she was in love with him. I seen the messages. So, you know, she was like, you know, he know I ain't got no money. He done broke my phone. So I was like, don't worry about it. I'll replace your phone. She was
Okay.
like, I don't even really want to do this. I don't want to be the reason why another black man go to jail. But
Girl, fuck
like,
that
you
man.
know, he put his hands on me or whatever. She was like, you cannot stay with him. He dangerous. Like, if I had came to his apartment, I know he would have tried to kill me. And I'm like, I don't think he would have tried to kill you, but I'm
Why
definitely glad we
not?
didn't go
He
to.
told you that if she came up there, he was going to unalive her. So why do people not take those type of statements seriously? Because that is not something that I feel someone would say if they didn't mean it. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Also, not trying to crash, but doesn't her daughter have some? Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Okay, okay. Hey, Can VC. Okay. Foster kids age out of the system at 18. Hey, let's talk about it. Welcome everyone. Peyton is so busy wanting the admission of guilt, yeah, from this 7-month relationship. He doesn't care, sis. Right. And she is like sticking to I was the woman and she is the side chick. Really, at this point, we don't know who, what, when, where, and how. That lady could have been there before her. I wouldn't be speaking with so matter of factly. You know what I'm saying? I would be like, listen, we are dating the same guy. I was hoping that we could confront him, get him to confess, and things were left. Okay, because you don't know if you the side chick at this point, Peyton. I hate this gorgeous her, but she should have handled this differently. Right. Hey, from the closet. This is messy at 40 plus. This is too much. I would have cussed Peyton out. After this point, Peyton says, you're delusional. Ooh, 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 at this. Oh, at this point. Okay. Gotcha. Right. If more people believed it, we had less true crime stories on deck. Hey, hey. Yeah, like that is not something that you should take lightly. Yes, this is what 20-year-olds do. Like, because you don't know what's going to happen. And most of the time, we don't know what's going to happen until it happens. And I just would not take that as someone saying, I'm going to just walk outside, or I'm going to turn the TV on. That is something to really pause about and think about. I would not take that lightly, period.
This apartment, because I don't think that I didn't know he was gonna react like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's never gave emotionally unstable. I've been the crash out in a relationship. Seriously, I have. So the police come out and they say they can't see him assaulting her on camera. So they
Oh,
basically banned them from the bowling alley. Me too. I was like, damn, what I do?
you
And
orchestrated this
then
meetup.
they let them go, right? So I walk in, I was like, I'm fit to go. I tell her, meet me at T-Mobile, I'm fit to buy you a new phone. So I went over
Okay.
there, bought her a new phone. She telling me more stuff that aligns with, you know, I know that they had a connection. Like, it was something going on between them, because the stuff that she was telling me he told her was things that I also, you know he told me, you know, he shared with me. She
Okay.
knew a lot of intimate details that if she was a stalker, she just wouldn't know. You know what I'm saying? So we sat in the parking lot a little while longer and talked, and I was really not trying to trauma bond, but I mean, I was very, very shocked at the things that she was sharing with me. And I realized that he was playing both of us. I mean, I was just the girlfriend, but I don't think I meant anything to him, to be honest. I don't think I meant anything to him. I think I'm in the same boat with the girl. You know what I'm saying? But is he trying to reach out? Is he begging for forgiveness? Is he popping up in my house? Yes. Yes, and he is still sticking with she's a stalker. We were sitting in the car and he called. She's listening. He's saying that she fabricated all the screenshots. Now I know it's some apps that you can do that, but I don't think that she fit to do that to 20 different screenshots. That was crazy. And she also had pictures in his apartment. That's why I never showed his apartment in my house, because like I still was having like reservations about him. You know what I'm saying? While I'm showing him a little bit, but you know, as I got more comfortable and he kept reassuring
It's too
me
much.
and gaslighting
Hey,
me,
Miss
I eventually
Veronica.
I'm like, you know what, fuck it, let me go and show his face.
Hey,
And when I
Friday.
showed his face, yeah.
Yeah.
But I take accountability for not, you know, leaving sooner and trusting my gut. You know, I wanted to believe because this was a man of God, and you know, we involved God in our
Girl.
relationship. I ain't never had a
Nobody get a
relationship
pass,
like that.
Payton.
I wanted to believe that this time was real. You know what I'm saying? And God was really, you know, sending me my Boaz, and I was wrong. I don't think it's a reason to laugh at my pain, but I get it. A lot of people that watch me don't genuinely fuck with me. I get it. You know, I could just hope while you laughing at me that this never happens to you. Because when I was in that car with that girl, I said, I sure know how to pick them. She said, shit, me too. My bad, y'all. I genuinely thought somebody was...
Okay, so that is the end of the story time. Is there anything else over here we need to check out before I'm gonna drop the link, so if anybody wants to come up and of course read the rest of the comments. Uh-oh. I want to scroll up. Oh, there we go. What's this?
Y'all, when I say I'm choosing grace, I be like, I have really grown. I have really grown. Can't nobody tell me. It must be the 42. It must be the 42. I have grown, because like the
Not the
shit that I'm
42.
seeing, solidarity is so rare. That's why I cannot say enough how much I appreciate my day one PayPals who stay solid, because this a flip-flopping ass culture we live in today, baby. I know a lot of y'all don't really have connections with me in real life, but for me, if I know me and you been talking for years and we built rapport, you know what I'm saying, I feel like a friend, you feel like a friend, we done got deep, you done told me some shit, I done told you some shit. When I see your face in the comments of these think pieces and reaction channels being messy, that shit hurt. I ain't even gonna lie to you, that shit hurt. That shit feel like a real life, real friend in real life betrayal to me. Then as soon as you respond to a think piece, they want to act like you windmilling through the comments. Why the fuck you tag me if you ain't want me to respond? Oh, y'all know my girl Peyton. But then in the comments, you being fake as fucking flip-flopping. You gonna be solid and post a video like you solid? Stay solid in the comments. That's what I do. That's what real bitches do. But I'm telling you, solidarity is rare. People don't know it. People don't know it. It's so easy to flip-flop. All it takes is somebody else having a difference in opinion for you to flip-flop. Baby, that ain't solid. That ain't real. Real don't know you. Ain't nowhere near you. But that's neither here nor there. Because motherfuckers just be stating their opinion. Oh, well, you shouldn't have put your business out there if you ain't want to know it. I had to get in front of it. I had to get in front of it. The girl told the police I was the Beyonce of Dallas and I'm famous on YouTube.
Not the Beyonce of Dallas.
I had to get in front of it. I'm losing my voice. I've been yelling so much, y'all. I'm sick.
I got a sinus infection. I ain't been sick in years, since 2021 when I caught COVID. My nervous system so aggravated I'm sick now. Go figure. But look at him. He be sleeping through it. I been yelling. He used to it now. He be yelling too though. Big mouth self. He almost bit the dog getting a facial shit. I thought he finna take her down the way he was yelling at her. She was like, is he yelling at me because you think he might smell my dog shit? I don't know. He just saying you cover my face with a hot towel. He don't know what's going on. All he know is he love me and don't want to lose me. You know what I'm saying? That unconditional love can't beat it. But the message today, folks, is stay solid.
Okay.
Stay solid because it's rare and you never know what names being dropped in rooms that you're not in. You wake up one day, you win and don't know how. Don't worry about it. Just know somebody took care of you because you stayed solid.
Y'all, when I say
Okay, Peyton. What's this one?
I feel like you projecting, Misha. I really do. Because even when you was stating aloud, you know, your thing.
Okay. I engaged with almost every comment. I did not switch up. I stated, even with all the material things, you don't see yourself because you deal with men less than you. But I've moved on from this. Okay. So she's responding to this comment.
Peace. I mean, I ain't got what Payton got, but I run a nice ship over here. Like, why you feel the need to say that? I felt like that was so odd. That's why I couldn't really hear the good in what you was trying to say. Like, what you was trying to do, I couldn't hear the good in because we're like, is she saying that she ain't on my level too? Like, because I wouldn't make you feel like that. I don't operate in making people feel less than because of the things that I have and I worked hard for. Because one thing I know for sure is that you can have them too. And I want you to have these things. I want to see you win. But I do not want you to be walking around thinking just because you got material things that you deserve a high value man, because that is not how they operate, babe. And if that's what you're thinking, then you should probably date a teacher too, because you got a little bit more learning to do.
Okay, and someone in the comments says, at this point, the only man good enough for black women is Jesus Christ. How are people determining Peyton is dating someone less than her? Material things are not a part of an invisible point system. Okay, okay. Let me get back over here to y'all. Sure. Right, she is being naive. Hey, Miss Veronica, stop trying to go. Yeah, stop trying to get an apology and move on. I wasted so much time looking for an apology. Right. Hey, y'all, once I read those messages, I would have been out. Why would she think he'd admit anything? He's not. That's exactly why y'all was doing trauma bonding in the car. And maybe that's probably what she should have done if she wanted to meet face to face with her, get her side of the story, gather all your evidence up first and then take it to him. I think maybe when she told him, he had an opportunity to try to clean things up before things got so out of hand. So he reached back out to old girl, and then old girl reached back out to Peyton, and then they came up with this plan to just confront him together. Well, maybe that's what they should have done from the beginning. Met up with each other, exchanged notes, saw if this was gonna be like a safe thing to do before they decided to meet, at his place and then the bowling alley. I don't know. No, he's a stalker. I hope Pepe is trapped. Peyton, you're not special. You're just another chick. Why are you talking to him after he clearly assaulted the girl? I'm sorry, Lord, my ass. I hope the other chick don't fall back into him. It doesn't seem like she's done, because to me, it looks like Peyton is still talking to him, and old girl just wanted Peyton to know about her, right? Because I don't know, y'all, the women in the chat, if y'all confronting someone, what is it that y'all want from them? Because for me, I don't need the closure. I don't need to confront, because once I don't trust you, then we can just end it here. I don't need all the extra stuff. So what are we going to accomplish by confronting him. That's what I need to know because I don't know. Oh my God. She is the what of Dallas? I missed that part. Now I like Peyton, but child, she from Memphis. Hey Latoy, how you doing? I'm confused. I mean, because if he says yes, you know, I was cheating. I did have unprotected sex. I did eat the booty like groceries. Then what? You know what I'm saying? Then what's the next step? Okay, he admitted. You forgive him. Y'all move on. I mean, what is the next step? I don't need the visuals. I don't. I don't. I don't think she's done. I wouldn't confront my beef is with him, not her. Okay, apologize and the truth. Okay, so you want apology and the truth. Do you think he's really sorry? He may be sorry he got caught, but he ain't sorry he was doing what he was doing when he was doing it. That shit is gonna be fake, in my opinion. Shit, I'm sorry. I ate some damn sweet potato fries today. That's not on my damn diet plan, okay? But am I really sorry? I think that's it. Yeah. I like this picture right here, Peyton. I mean, is he really sorry? So you can fully let go, no doubts or reason to double back. What with trust? If you have your standards and trust is one of the things you want someone that's trustworthy and loyal, and you do not after having to talk to this other woman, there's no way that you should believe, that he's still checking off those boxes. And I'm speaking from a man perspective because I'm a woman. Hey, Shelly C. Let me drop the link just in case someone would like to come up. What advice will we give women, in this situation? For me, baby, let go and let God, okay? Because if you're saying that your relationship was built on the foundations of the Jesus Christ, the Lord and Savior, baby, pray about it. Maybe you need to pray about it first. You know what I'm saying? And see what God leads you. Uh-oh, I got bank up here. I don't need closure. I closed the damn door. Shut the front door. I wouldn't believe or accept an apology. In my mind, he's still lying. Because I just don't think someone would tell the truth. I just don't. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they will, but once you know the truth, then what? Okay? I don't want to see you crying. I don't want to see you begging like Key Sweat. Deuces. Yes, I wouldn't either, but I see both sides. Okay, thank you, Miss E. Hey, Bank, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Hey, I've been writing down notes because it's like I know I was like, as soon as I get up here, excuse me, that I was going to forget what I was going to say. But so we were just talking about closure, and I was thinking about that, and I had like two major heartbreaks, I would say, in my life. And after the first one, I needed quote unquote closure. But what I
Okay.
learned from that for me was that I'm never going to need it again, like you said, because at the end of the day, it was more about me trying to figure out what did I do wrong that he wanted to break it off with me or that he was messing around on me. But what I realized as I, got away from the situation and more mature, it was all about him. I already know it ain't about me. So there's no closure. There's no such thing as healing for me. You just move on, and I always found the best revenge was just to go on and be happy. So for Peyton, she has this public platform. If and when she's healed and ready to move, just and maybe not as fast. Now I can see why people were saying, because somebody put in the comments
Mm-hmm.
that she had just had a breakup and then a month later she was with him. Kind of slowed
Okay.
down because I have been seeing that. Like she moved too fast. I'm like, okay,
Okay.
that to me is kind of fast. But also, excuse me, if I was Peyton, if this is a problem with her PayPals, as they call themselves, or
Uh-huh.
people in a chat dating her, the men that she with. And I understand the whole reason and philosophy behind not showing your relationship or
Mhm.
showing the face and all that. But at this point, she's saying it because I had watched the Instagram clip. I didn't see this one, but the
Okay.
Instagram clip, it didn't. She didn't talk about the bowling alley because I don't know if that had happened yet, or she was ready to talk about it. But she was just talking about how the girl was in her DMs and everything, and
Uh-huh.
she was crying booger snot tears. But at this point, she was saying that. Oh, in that video, she was saying how when she go places, people, know who she is, and he know that when they out, people is not usually when they go out, they always run
Mhm.
into a PayPal. So, okay, well, Peyton, if it's like that, and apparently Dallas, especially Black Dallas, apparently ain't that small. I would just, if I'm serious about somebody from day one, I'm like, listen, you're gonna be on my platform because you my man. And let me tell you something: if you out here doing dirt, if you ain't done doing dirt, then you don't want to date me because it's gonna get back to me. So he was hiding to me behind her not wanting to put him out there.
Mhm.
That
I
gave
can
him
see. Okay.
cover.
I can see that. I can see that.
They gave him cover. And if that's the way these men move in Dallas or just in general, these days, then you got to expose them and you got to stand down and I can hold on to you. We're good for each other. You with me? Because Ninja, like Shirley, they gonna pop up in the comments if you out here doing what you shouldn't be doing. Actually, her biggest protection is exposure at this point.
Do you know this man, baby? Do you know this man?
Give me the tea. Yeah, I mean, really. And I feel bad for her, but Sunshine said it best. Peyton, you wasn't special. You just like the rest of us. And that's why I was saying in somebody else's comments who was covering the first
Uh-huh.
part. And I was saying, she may have all this channel, all these followers, and all these, making all this money because she making some bank over there. We all know that. She running a good business. But at the end of the day, none of us are immune from getting our heart broken and being vulnerable and trying to open up. And maybe she is moving a little bit too fast. If I was her friend and I don't watch her on a regular, in fact, I haven't watched her in a while. Even when I did watch her, I didn't watch her regularly. But that would have been some advice. Girl, you moving too fast. You need to slow
But
down. You
that's
need to
the
slow down.
thing when a lot of people do
Hmm.
come from these content creators from that perspective, they get an attitude and they
Yeah.
start thinking that people are jealous. They don't want to see them happy. They kind of flip the script on them because I've seen it, with you've seen it too, Bank. When
Hmm.
people try to give advice and they are coming from a good place, some of these content creators are not receptive to it. You know what I'm saying? They
You're
take it
right.
as something negative.
And it ain't even just content creators because we've all had experiences. Well, at least luckily for me, I haven't been put in a position where I seen like a friend, their husband or boyfriend doing something wrong. The closest I came is that my girlfriend at the time, she was 8 months pregnant, so she was stuck in the house, and her at the time her boyfriend, then he was her husband. He had a group of friends that threw parties, and I had went to the party. She couldn't. She was big and swollen and uncomfortable. She was like, I ain't going. So I went, and we had a good time. There was nothing wrong. He did his hosting, and he was pretty popular. I didn't see nothing inappropriate. So she calls me the next morning, like bright and early. I'm like, dang, did a water break? I'm thinking. And she was like, what did he do? I said, what do you mean, what did he do? She said, oh, he come waking me up in the middle of the night with flowers and kissing all over me, talking about how much he loved me. I was like, well, at the party, he didn't do nothing. I ain't seen nothing. I said, maybe he was out amongst all of that and he was missing you and feeling like, dang, my girl ain't here and I really appreciate what I got at home. And he just wanted to show you that. Well, I saved him on that day. Now, moving forward, 12 years later, I couldn't save the ninja. Okay. I couldn't save him. He did it to himself. But you're right. Because look at Shirley. I'm pretty sure if we can roll this back or kind of liken this to what's going on over in Nesto world, her girlfriends couldn't tell her either. So I get that. You were absolutely right.
Right,
They jealous, they envious, you don't know, you just talking, get out of my relationship. So as women sometimes
right.
now we've had this discussion, like how far would you go? And like I said, luckily for me, I was never put in a position. I would like to think my reaction would be if I see him out there doing something, is to approach him in that moment and say, I see
Mhm,
you. Now what you
mhm.
gonna do with that? we'll see. So he knows that I know, but you know how these ninjas are. They'll try to separate you from the friend at that point.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Like, oh, your friend, I heard this about her. It's gonna be divide and conquer right then. We got sunshine up here
all
too.
right, sunshine.
Hey. And Bent to the Veil, I see you. You're up next. You
Hey,
ready?
ladies, can y'all hear me?
Yes, and you sound good.
Hmm.
Okay. It's so much to unpack. I love me some Peyton. I've been watching her from day one, but it's a routine with these popular, pretty, rich girlies on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
They get with these men who don't value them, and I think because they're popular, although Peyton tried to play humble, look what she just said. Oh, the girl said, I'm like the Beyonce of Dallas. You having a social media platform to these dusties don't mean nothing. Don't mean nothing.
Right.
Why you and you trying to meet up with him? To me, that's dangerous
I agree.
because if you found out a certain thing with this man, you inviting this lady to go meet with you at his house. How smart is that? You don't know how people gonna react. Baby, pipes bust when they're under pressure,
That's
and
true.
there are too many true crime story. First 48 hours. There's too many shows about a man dating a woman, a man married to a woman. Something happened, and boom, he. Sometimes the man never touched a woman. He never did nothing to her. He never talked crazy to her, and he just flipped. He just flipped. Yeah,
Right.
that whole meeting stuff for me was a bit like, Peyton, girl, what are you doing?
Right.
What
That
what
was
are you
very
doing?
dangerous. I'm sorry. That was very dangerous.
You
What if the lady would have came with something? You know what I'm saying?
you don't know that lady. You don't know that lady. Why are you inviting her? Have a conversation. I feel like she could have a conversation with that man, but she didn't choose to. She didn't choose that because she's still looking for validation. Because it's
Yes.
just like I'm Peyton Powell, I'm Peyton Marie. I look good. I have this platform. When we go out, I'm like a celebrity. You see that? How the hell you cheating on me? These men don't care about that Peyton girl. You should know that by now. And then you just break up with. She had a. Did she just had a story time with the guy showing the toilet? With the poop in the bathroom? Didn't that just happen not too long ago, Peyton? And then now you messing with this guy, and because he presented you to some church and he got you going back to church, not you washed by the blood of Jesus. Now you just falling for everything that this man is saying because he said, "Come on, let's go to church with me." Yeah, I have a pastor. Come on, he gonna pray for us. That don't mean nothing, baby. That mean absolutely nothing. I feel like at this point, Peyton need to go sit on somebody's couch
Oh, yeah.
and chill. You your life, you got that in order. You the finance, sis. We see you, girl. We be watching you. We know you got that in order. But baby, when it comes to a relationship, I think Peyton need to sit. She need to sit down. She need to sit down. And if she think, and the fact that she thought that her inviting the girl was something smart. Oh, I thought we was going to have an intelligent conversation. The guy didn't even just say, "Why did you do this?" The guy said, "I'm going to kill her." And
Right.
you still talking to that man? And I don't know if you
Like that
see,
went
she
over her head. She like, well, I didn't really think he was gonna do. Well, baby, I mean, this is a man saying he's going to do something to a woman. Why would you not think? Why? I mean, what the hell?
and he popped up at her house. I don't know if you see. She had it's a video after all of this. He popped up at
Mhm.
her house after all of that
Oh my God,
with
is
the
it on
trauma
Instagram?
bonding with her. You need
Let
to
me
go
go
to what's her
look.
name channel. You need to go to Mimi channel. That's where I saw that at.
Mimi, oh,
Kingdomonium.
oh, my girl, Kingdom,
Yeah, yeah,
the kingdom. I need to go to the kingdom. Okay, let me go to
yeah.
Mimi.
I don't think Peyton needs
Oh,
to be dating.
it may be in her membership though.
Yeah, I don't think on the last live you came in because I came towards the end. If you rewatch that video, because I don't think you wasn't there in the beginning.
No, because I
The
was
last
live. I
live you
did.
had, yeah, because
Mhm.
you okay. Watch that video.
Okay.
It's on there. But yeah, I think Peyton need to go sit down somewhere, and I want the YT girlies, the popular, pretty ones that making all the money. That doesn't equate to you having a man, baby. Them niggas don't care here. They don't care you got money. They don't care you just he don't care you just built this fancy house. He don't care you have two cars. He don't care, sis. He doesn't care. I think that was Peyton's problem because it's like she's looking. Oh, I need him to apologize. We gonna confront him. Both of us have to be there because if both of us is not there, it's gonna be two different stories. He don't care. He gonna lie to you by yourself. He gonna lie to you in her face. You bringing her to him, that proved nothing, and you didn't get absolutely nothing from him. So what was the point, sis? What was the point?
Yeah, yeah. I don't
You
know what
looking
she was
you
thinking with
you,
that one.
you looking for a sorry, baby? My young 20, that was me. I wasted so many years looking for a sorry. People don't care,
Yeah,
child. They do what they do and they move on. You looking for a sorry? No, you need to learn how to move on away from that person. Like, okay, you got me. Carry on. In the words of Beyonce, carry on. But
yeah,
yeah, Peyton, honey, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like Peyton just expect so much more. I think she expected so much more from him, but honestly, she didn't know him. 7 months, you don't know
yeah,
people.
yeah.
You 7 months,
And
she didn't
family,
know.
we've learned that family be in on these situations because she said she met the family. She felt like she spent enough time with him, with church and all these places and doing all this stuff. But I'm sorry, family be the number one. I'm sorry. And
Yeah,
pastors
especially
ain't shit either.
it's not even that. I would say I'm guilty. I have a cousin. He's a player. When he brings somebody, I don't get it. We don't get in his business. I'd be like, and we talk amongst each other in the family, like, how long this one gonna last? Because we already know what kind of person he is, how many people he dating. He bring this person. She feeling special, and it's like, girl, don't fall for the okie doke, honey. We gonna be nice to you because we're just nice people, and we gonna respect you. But it's not my place. It's not my business to tell you, honey. He's seeing two, three other people. So yeah, family. The family ain't shit. I'm part of that family and shit. I ain't getting up in nobody's business.
Right. Family be the number one. They know everything going on. We see that with Dion and Lamont and Dre. Like everybody kicking in your face, but they know what time it is behind your back. It's like, I don't trust family. That's not good enough. I'm sorry. I say exactly.
Peyton need to pay attention to the red flags. I don't think she should be dating. You focus on your house. I'm sorry. Focus on your house. Focus on your content. This is the second time this happened to you in less than what 6, 7 months. Like, yeah, go sit down somewhere. Say, Peyton, and I like Peyton,
I
but
like Payton too.
the dating part of her life and her making it content and having all these different because if okay, she said that she doesn't look at her messages in TikTok. She only buys stuff from TikTok. When she noticed that message, she could have a private conversation with that lady. She didn't even have to meet her. Because, baby, I ain't got to meet nobody. I ain't meeting nobody. Stranger danger. No, I'm not meeting nobody. I feel like her and the lady could have had a conversation the same way the lady exchanges the text with her and showed her like this is the day we met. This is the we. I was at his house this day. He was at my house this day. You could have figured all that out without meeting her. You did not need to meet her. Her meeting the lady to me was pointless because it's like, what did you prove? What did she prove? He showed who he really was by you bringing her to the bowling alley. It's like, oh, I didn't think he would act like that towards her. Really?
He told you. Why do you believe what he said? I'm just saying. He told you what he was going to do. And then when the police got there, it kind of seemed like you didn't really want to tell exactly what's happening. You saying you saw her throw a chair, you saw her do all that, but you don't know how her mouth bleeding. It's like if you didn't see nothing, then stick with you didn't see nothing. If you saw something, then tell everything. That's all I'm saying. Because it kind of felt like You were making her seem like he did, because he said that she followed you there, she's stalking you, and then you're saying that she threw a chair and you saw her do all this, but you just saw him throw your phone. You know what
She
I'm saying? Like, come on
she
now.
kind of was protecting him, if you ask me. She still kind of was protecting him. I don't think she believed, even with all that happening, I don't think she believed the lady 100%. Maybe after the whole phone thing, when they were trauma bonding in the car at the Verizon shop, she finally believed the lady. But I don't think Peyton had believed the lady 100%. Because because
Mm.
she said, oh, when she dated him, she finally, okay, let me start showing him on YouTube. She still was kind of reserved. If you still kind of reserved, that means you're not all the way in, sis. So how could you not? Why didn't you believe this lady? Why you felt comfortable? Well, you thought you was gonna take her to the bowling alley, and you and him was gonna embarrass her, and she wasn't gonna have any proof to prove that. Yeah, I'm messing with him because I'm pretty sure as a content creator, especially at her level, people know who she are. And when you're a social media person, a celebrity, people are mean. Sometimes people just want to say stuff and do stuff to you because they know you in the limelight, and it's like, okay, I want to hurt this person feeling because they're popular, they have money. I want to see her in pain. So I don't believe Peyton. Peyton did. I don't think she believed the lady 100%. I think she was reserved. I think when all she has, and see, that's dangerous. You all that had to happen to you, Peyton, for you to believe this woman, for you to believe that this ninja ain't. Yeah, no, Peyton. I'll drop down that Vicky.
You
Come
can
on, I want
stay
to
up.
hear.
You can stay up, Vicky.
Okay,
So, okay, and then Shan. Oh, Shan done came up. Okay, she probably went back
what?
to watch because I know Shan said she dropped in late. Go ahead, little sis.
This woman is she's 42.
Yes.
Okay. I and she just got out of another relationship where a similar situation happened, right?
Yeah, she was in a
Yes.
relationship that did not end good, and then they're saying a month later she was dating a guy that she's with now, but she's saying that she took her time. It's been 7 months. She met his family. They are going to church.
Mhm. And
She's doing all the right things, and then boom, soon as she show him, on her channel after 7 months of
why
dating.
would you even show them on your channel like that? See, that's the curse right there. To like display your relationship, like build, cultivate that. If you have a presence, like a presence out in this world, um, maybe you hold that to yourself. Some things should be held to yourself. I'm not too familiar with her. I've heard her name before, and I'm trying to think like
Hmm.
where, I've heard her name. I don't really follow a lot of the girls. I follow a few of them, but I usually follow
Hmm.
the couples.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't. I'm not a believer. I used to be a believer of how to get over a man is to get under another man. I'm
Hmm.
not a believer of that. So like I don't believe in jump anymore from jumping into long term relationships, or very like going steady immediately, like so to speak. I know going steady is an old fashioned word, but that's pretty much what it is. And I don't think you should be like adapting a man's personality. It could be that she's getting older, and maybe she wants to settle down. But number one, you if you're getting older, you should have a good, healthy mental understanding and emotional understanding that you do not always need closure. Like f all that closure stuff, because you inviting the girl there or the woman there, the other woman there,
Hmm.
and I watch too much true crime. I follow channels that cover like a lot of emotional, like femicide stuff,
Hmm.
and I see too many times where the bitch will flip on you. Like you invite her there, y'all supposed to be confronting him, and they'll gang up on you. I have been in a love triangle before, and this was
Hmm.
when I was like very very young and stupid and foolish. And you think that you guys are helping each other, but one of y'all gonna go back to him. I mean, one or both of y'all gonna go back to him, and it's gonna be the same foolishness. But I don't believe that that you need need closure, and the
Mhm.
fact that he said, "I'm a killer." I'm sorry, I'm a unaliver.
Mhm.
Girl, you should have walked out right then and there. Well, like you have fun with that. I'll buy myself another phone, or I'll, like you go ahead on and you do what you got to do because I'm gone. But I don't believe that you always need closure, and I think at her age, she should understand that, and especially being in a semi long-term relationship, it's long-term compared in today's standards,
Mhm.
and then immediately hopping into another semi long-term relationship, and then meeting his family. That's just rebound. People don't understand rebound, and I think that's the today's culture. We're so used to like fast gratification, instant gratification. Like our feelings need to be, we need to be emotionally satisfied at all times, and it's okay. I think you should take as much time as you spent in the relationship. I think you should double that to get over that relationship. If you catch my drift, like you need some closure. You need to understand like what went wrong in it, what was your part in it, like what were the if you didn't weren't at fault for the reason that the relationship ended. I think that you should still take time to understand what part you played in the relationship ending. If you didn't notice red flags, go back through the relationship and hold yourself accountable for not noticing those red flags.
Mhm.
You catch me?
Yep, I got you. But
So,
I will say, far as the part where you said was showing them, if she had not shown him, this could have went on for years and years. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
why would she? Who's to say she would have ever? You know what I'm saying?
I don't
Known
I
if
don't
she had
know.
not showed him.
I mean, I see too much like nowadays like it's so many couples like it's couples goals, and like that's why I kind of like follow some of these couples just to see if their body language is genuine, if they are if they're talking to each other in a genuine manner, as opposed to hey babe, love you babe, like that fake stuff. And
Hmm.
I'm looking at her channel. If I had her following, I would not bring somebody on my channel, period, that I haven't like fully vetted yet. And that's like, that could take years and years of me vetting them because that could mess up your total brand. Because what if he comes out and says something crazy about her? And it could just completely tarnish your brand. Or if something's really bad about him, something in his background is crazy, like really bad about him that could harm her brand and that she's taken so much time to build up. So I understand that where you're coming from, but I'd be careful about bringing certain, people, just people period on my channel. Like the channel is based off of you. Let it be you, allude to him. You can show pictures of him, but don't bring him on. And if somebody wants to contact you, you could have had that conversation offline. Like, really. You did not need to. It didn't
They
need to
did
be in
call me.
person. Yeah, so I yield my time. Go ahead, Chan. Sorry.
They did call me. What's up?
Hey, this you know this is my specialty right here. I've been with my dude for 22 years.
Don't come on
But
here now. Come on here now, trying to show out now.
I it's different now. Like Vicky was just saying, because the stuff that I be seeing out here, I be like, Lord have mercy, we would have never made it.
Yeah.
But she's not old, and people put an age on stuff all the time, and it's not necessarily age, it's his person. For me, I feel like it's more of person because I feel like my husband matured a lot sooner than most men mature. We've been
Hmm.
married for shit, I don't know how long we've been married. We've been married mm,
Do he know you don't know how
over
long y'all been married?
uh yeah, he know. I'll be like, dang, did you realize? He be like, yeah, I was thinking about that the other day.
Y'all,
That's we've been knowing each other since we were 16, put it like that. So all those dates in between get messed up because we didn't actually stay. We have not been together for a straight period from age 16, and we're 50. Age 16, now we double quarters, and we didn't actually get together and stay together till we were about in our 30s. We were off and on in between that time because he was a safe place that I knew. And that's what I was gonna come up here and say, because the thing is, people don't know people these days. It takes a lot longer today to get to know somebody than it did back in our day, because we didn't have all this social media stuff where you could be fake, where you could be fraudulent. And back then, me and him, we went to the movies all the time. You ain't sitting there talking, but you with somebody all the time. You know, their mannerisms. We used to sit at his house or sit at my house on the couch or on the porch talking or whatever, because we didn't have all this extra stuff going on that kids and people got these days. Because if you notice, next time you're out and you see a couple together, notice they either one or both of them is doing what? They on their phone. So
Yeah.
how we getting to know each other if we both click click clack clacking and got our AirPods ear, whatever you got, beats whatever in your ear.
Yeah.
So people are not getting to know people. And the thing about that is, with social media has come a lot of mental health issues that are unaddressed.
Okay.
And that's where we're getting all these young people, mostly women, being unalived by partners, because it's the emotional unstableness of it all. Because back in our day, even though you had to toughen up and suck it up buttercup, you still knew what you wanted. Like a lot of my friends, either they single by choice or they married or whatever the case may be, but at this age it's a choice. You know what I'm saying? And the ones that are forcing it don't know who they forcing it with. And that's the main problem. You got to get to know, because how long these days can a person hold up a representative? And I'm gonna take it back to our home nougat, Nesto. He held up a representative for about a decade. So if this
Right.
person can put their representative forth for a really long time, and you've been in a marriage with somebody for 10, 15 years and you're just getting to know them, like that's like, and I'm not gonna sit up here and act like, because when I wasn't with him, I was messing with a couple dudes that I really ain't know nothing about. And only thing
Right.
good out of those things that I didn't do was I didn't bring them to meet my kid at the time. 'Cause I only had one at the time. So I
Mhm.
Yeah.
didn't bring them to meet my kid. And that was a off that kind of kept me a little bit safer than somebody that didn't have one, because I had this boundary, which, no, you ain't coming to my house, you ain't spending no nights, and you ain't moving in, and I don't need you to babysit. Got one of those, okay? I don't need all that. So it was just like, these days you get a lot of dudes moving in, or partners, can we say, because it's a lot of people out here that like what they like,
Yeah.
and they're moving in, they're watching your kids, they're helping you, because that's a help, because everybody, it takes a village. So they're moving in on something. With her, I feel like he moved in on her faith, like she wasn't steady in her faith. And some people have this warped sense of humor, like the church and the pulpit is a place where you find the best man or the best women, and that's not true, because people representatives show up everywhere. And I feel like this day and age, it's like your personality, your character, and your
Mhm.
past trauma and experiences help you pick. And if you don't know that your picker is off, you end up picking something unstable constantly. And that's what it seemed like she did. You may have
She
picked two men from two totally different realms, but they both were the same dude.
she didn't take it. It doesn't sound like she took time in between relationships to really
You don't need
understand.
time. You need to be healed. And how you gonna get
Well,
healed?
that's
Time is not gonna heal you though, Vicky. That's what I'm saying.
I'm using
Time is
time
not gonna
in a broad.
heal.
I'm using time in a broad, like broad broad reasoning. Like I mean time meaning, like that's why what I said earlier, like doing, actually doing the work on yourself to understand what the hell, what made things go wrong, what's wrong with me, that my why am I picking these men.
But see, that's the thing too, because a lot of them don't feel like I'm picking these men; they picking me,
Mhm. Yeah, I can
and
see that.
and that's the thing too. Like, if you thinking about, oh, I just we met at church. We've been going to church together for 4 years.
Mhm.
I know him. Girl, you know that
Mhm.
man. You just see him every Sunday or every Wednesday, Sunday, whatever. Couple times to church y'all go to. Couple times a week y'all go to church. You don't know that man. So a lot of people, because I always revert back to my younger years, especially my teenage years, those few years where I was with my grandparents, where the PKs and the boys in the choir, they used to be out smoking weed on Saturday nights and then coming up in church on Sunday morning, or out at the club and at the after hour. You see them Sunday morning, you like, he just had that on like 4 hours ago. I saw him at the so and so last night and he had that on. His eyes bloodshot red. And he up in there in the choir stand singing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, just because you in church and you meet somebody that's go to church and they can quote the Bible a little bit, don't mean that
Hmm.
they that. And every preacher ain't that either. Like, you got to be careful. You there for them to just, it's like a teacher. You ain't idolizing them. You there just for them to give you the word. And the word is all you should be getting. You shouldn't be looking at
They
all
are
that other
not
stuff.
God. They are not God. No,
Right.
no, and you
The
should know the Lord for
right.
yourself. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
mean,
All they doing is helping you get an understanding and a what is it, interpretation and all that.
hmm.
They're not that book. That book is not them. It's not in them. That book is everybody is
Hey,
everybody.
Verena.
And I don't, and that was something that I wanted to speak to too, that I heard you saying, Vicky, was the time aspect. Time does not heal, because I know some 60, 70-year-old women in person that still ain't healed from picking these clowns. And it's like, that's because they never thought that I was picking this type of dude because this type of dude ain't no good for me, but this is what I want. I'm getting what I want and not what I need. I had a real good friend. She was married when I met her. She ended up divorcing that clown. And then she met this man and she was like, I don't like him. He boring. He da, 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 da." And I'm like, girl, that's who you need. I said, that's who you need. I was like, that right there is what's good for you. They've been together now and married and everything. They've been together for about 10 years now. And I saw her comment on Facebook the other day. They had put up a little husband post like, yeah, my husband is, and she was like, thank God that I got my husband. And I had text her say, yeah, thank God I pushed you on there. She was like, yeah, girl, because it was like he wasn't in the streets. He wasn't trying to fly here and go there and wear Gucci Lucci Pooey. He was just a normal, all regular working dude. He wore I want to say he wore them Nikes. What are the matriarchs? She did change some stuff about him now. She changed a few things because she was like, "No, that's just too country." He wearing the matriarch Nikes, them little white ones, and she was like, "I can't get with that." I'm like, "Girl, you can change them shoes. You can make them spend an extra $20, $30 on some shoes now. Come on now, that can't be it." Cause the last guy was doing all kind of stuff, spitting in your face, cheating on you, all kind of stuff, and you got a man that's gonna treat you like you want and need to be treated, and you gonna let him slip away because he born. No, you tell him what you want to do. I bet you he'll step into it, and he has. They travel, they hang, they like the best of friends, and I'm like, ain't you happy? When they came over here to my door to party, like, ain't y'all happy? I told her, I pulled it off like, girl, ain't you happy? She like, girl, shut up, don't say nothing. Cause but that's the thing though, because that's not where we're gonna have fun with. That's not where you know what I'm saying? That's not where we're gonna be like we wanna be. We wanna be hanging. We wanna be. No, I don't want my man to hang. I never have. I never did. When I'm hanging, I want to be able to come here and know where you at. You in that sleep or something. But I don't hang anymore. That's something I got out my system years ago. So why would I want a man that do that? Or me and mine go, we go together. He don't like traveling with nobody else. If I ain't going, he be telling his own people I ain't going. He be like, you ain't going? Well, I ain't going. Man, them your people. Go with your people.
Now,
Okay,
I'm
let
But
me
gonna
read
say,
one. Let me read Marina's.
okay,
Time will heal depends on that person, mentality, and sometimes your faith in the Lord. And I do think you have to put in some work with that too, Verena. Thank you. Okay, go ahead, Bank.
I was just gonna actually to Verena's point. I think time is an issue, and I'm speaking only from my personal experience in the box of heartbreak, and this is my first heartbreak, so that's the one that imprinted on me the most moving forward. Because, and when I say that the time for me, it may be for other people, and it could help even Peyton, because in that time, that's what I say about the closure. Yeah, when I realized I was looking for him to tell me what was
Mm-hmm.
wrong with me, and so, we could get back together, that yearning and all that other BS. But what I ended up doing with that time and space, was actually getting to know me and to pour into and to love me. I saw people around me trying to
Yeah, you
comfort
got to
me
put
and
in
all
the
that
work.
stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, I saw people trying to comfort me, and I'm like, you're not even comforting yourself. And then I realized that I kind of stepped, and I was young, so it was a little different. But I kind of stepped into my superpowers as a woman, and I realized that, it hurt, and I did need that time because for me, that heartbreak and the other one that I had, it was a physical pain. People kind of skip over that if it's true. At least it was for me. It was like a physical pain. It was like a death, and I had to mourn and I had to grieve that. So I couldn't even imagine stepping into a relationship if I was truly in love with somebody a month later. But that's just me. Now, like
Mhm.
some miracle had somebody came and swept me off my feet and made me just sprinkled fairy dust and made me forget about all of that, you know, I would have been able to do that. And so, like with Peyton, and just based off what Sunshine and other people have been dropping in the chat because they kept up with her, is that I think that she somehow, I think her being single, and a lot of single, and I'm making a generalization, so I apologize to anybody in the chat or on the panel. I'm not talking about you or anything like that. But I think some women, and I saw this with my older sister, is that they have a fear of being single. And I'm not saying
Mhm.
that everybody has to be single. You should enjoy being single. You should not want to be in a relationship. But for me, I've had the best time. I feel like I fit in a better mental space when I decided that was okay to be single. And that's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
I don't see where Peyton, I guess a part of me, and she's just about 10 years younger than me, but a part of me is like, sis, if you would just be okay with being single. And I know she's been in and out of relationships since I've been watching her.
Uh-huh.
She's actively dating. And I don't know if this is because of this new generation, this social media culture, feeling like you have to be, connected to someone, or it could just be her personality. Because I know she was married,
Mhm.
if I'm not mistaken, when she married to her daughter's father. And that was a toxic relationship. So I don't know if that's what it's rolling out of that. That I think, and then that was a body work she has, and I'm not against that either. But I think something in Peyton feels like she needs an external validation, and then she got people looking at her saying, "Girl, you got it all. You got the looks, you got the money, you got a little bit of notoriety here on social media. What more do you need to be happy?" And they see her as looking at a man for happiness. I think that's the sticking point that a lot of people, when they have an issue with her, that
Uh-huh.
again, I think it's a part of that they can't separate that she's human. She's like the girl around the corner from me. That she's a what she's doing is not atypical, unfortunately.
Right. Okay.
That's why I try
Right.
not to judge her too harshly on this whole thing. I could see definitely the red flags, the whole let's meet up and let's talk about it. Listen, it was one of my niece's friends she knew from high school. She was involved in an altercation. She ended up getting arrested for unaliving a girl. And the way the story came out, it sounded like she was the aggressor. And what it was, her dude was messing around with this chick, or she was messing around with the dude. And I don't think she knew that he had a girl. But the girl came to confront her. They had been beefing back and forth over text and the phone. And the
See.
girl came to her house, was busting out windows, and you try to confront her, and the girl had a pow pow, and she actually
Oh
got
wow.
she was an attorney. She got off with self defense. But that's where it could have went wrong, like everybody is saying. And that girl, obviously, he's showing that girl a side he wasn't showing Peyton, because the girl already knew he liked to play with his hands. That's why I'm saying she might be back with them too, because apparently that wasn't a
She
deal
Yeah.
is.
breaker.
She
Yeah,
That
because
wasn't
is.
a deal
they
breaker.
the fact that they were willing to confront him, it's like were y'all wanting to confront him so
Mm.
he could choose who he wanted to be with?
Yes.
I'm not
Yep.
sure because that's why I'm like, what do
Yep.
y'all want from
That's
this?
that's
Yep.
exactly what it is. Cause like back when I was young, stupid, and digmatized. I'll just say his name. Pat. He'll never hear this. Patrick.
All
This the
right, now
one
he
I
gonna pop out. He gonna pop out on the porch.
This the one I told y'all who I hadn't talked to in a while, and I got weak right after my birthday. I said, well, like, because he was trying to call my mama and call, or not try, but he was calling my mother and calling, trying to get to me for the past several years, and offered that he wanted to give me a baby, and like it was,
Woo.
yeah, it's like that kind of, he's that kind of man, but I was with him first, but then there was another young lady he was messing with, and girl, baby, I flew to Miami to get that, and we were like like confronted him. We confronted him. We really wanted him to choose, and it was like at first it was like girl power. He shouldn't be doing this to us. But then like it turned into we looking at each other stupid. Like what you gonna do, Patrick? And it turned from we're not gonna mess with him anymore to what you gonna do.
Mm.
I mean, because it was
That's
that
what Meg
good.
just
It was
said.
that good.
That's what
Oh
Meg
my
just said.
God.
It because you get that physical hurt, and it's like,
Yep.
well, I want to see if he really love. Because if he choose me,
Yeah.
he really love me. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And see, the
Girl,
thing about it is, I be watching those things too. And I was just talking to a friend about one of those datelines where, and they've been showing it on all the datelines, the 48 hours, where
Mm-hmm.
the guy was cheating with this chick, and then he proposed to his girl, and the side chick that
Yeah.
moved around the corner from them, her kids sleeping on floors because
Mm.
she couldn't even really afford the house that she would moved in because she just wanted to be close to him because
Mm-hmm.
in her mind, because he was talking bad about the girl that he'd
Yep.
just
Yeah.
proposed to, that he was
Mm-hmm.
gonna eventually get with her, and she ended up unaliving the dang old girl. And they was thinking he was in on it, but he like, no, I wasn't leaving my woman. I was just
Right.
cheating. You know what I'm
Right.
Hey
saying? And that's
y'all.
what they do. They talk
Mm-hmm. Hey
bad to the
Verena.
hey Verena. They talk bad to the one they about the one they with and want to stay with, and then they get with the other one. But then when it all blow up, guess what? I'm not gonna choose none of y'all. I'm gonna move
I
on.
don't
But
want
if
none
one
of
of y'all
y'all.
want to
Yeah,
stay,
We
if one of
want to have
y'all
a happy
choose
life.
to
You in
stay, then
jail, he in the
Mm-hmm.
okay.
ground.
it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I,
Let
go
Verena
ahead.
go.
I'm
She
sorry.
did.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
I'm
Verena.
And
sorry, ladies.
don't
How's
forget.
your
No, go
hey, how
ahead.
everybody doing?
Wait, Peyton. Go ahead, Verena.
I just think with that incident with the bowling alley situation, I just feel like they could have all went bad.
Yes.
I think she pushed more for, hey, let's go meet up so we can confront him. But I feel like as a woman, if you came to me as a woman and you gave me all the tea and nothing that you said
Mm-hmm.
was a lie, there's nothing else we need to talk about. There's
Right.
nothing else we need to meet up
That
about.
part.
You know what I mean?
I
Mm-hmm.
I
agree,
feel for
Verena.
me, it was all about picking and choosing. Oh, and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
when a man tell me to come on over here in an aggressive manner, and you walk like some type of sad little dog, that was the thing that got me. I'm not walking nowhere when you showed me. And then first of all, as a woman, we need to protect each other. First of all,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
blatantly said out your mouth and took her phone. She could look through yours, but you surely took hers and looked through hers.
Right.
The
Mm.
crazy part about that is when he said, if she shows up here, I'm a killer. We wouldn't
Yes.
have
Mm.
nothing else to
Girl.
talk about.
Who don't take
We wouldn't
care of
have
their
Exactly.
these days,
we wouldn't have
Verena?
no
Girl.
exactly when a man said my mother always said when a man says what he's gonna do, you better believe him.
Believe him.
Believe him.
Thank you.
And
Yep.
so that was another red flag. You continue to talk to him, which lets me know that you really wanted to hold on to him. That chick, like I
Mm-hmm.
said, that could have been wrong. She could have been like, okay, I'm gonna be cordial. I'm gonna be, just to confront him so we can kind of get this off our chest and have some form of closure. Because some women be looking for closure, and I feel like sometimes when it's right in front of your face, what more closure do you really need
Just go
when
lick
everything
those
is
wounds.
before?
They'll get better.
Yeah, there is no closure because you already
Mm-hmm.
if it's already been spoken about. It's
I
always
think
been.
she wanted validation. She
But
wanted
that's what I
validation.
said.
Yeah,
But that's what I
yeah.
said. Validation to see,
Mm-hmm.
okay, he chose me, he picked me. I'm coming with him, and I'm
Right.
standing
Right.
there by police and said, well, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
see him hit her. As a woman, the first thing you should have said too, hey, keep your hands off that woman. Right now she's pissed off. Now right now she's hurt. Although she shouldn't put her hands on him, the other young lady. But that's what I'm
Hmm.
saying. You don't know what a person's mental space is. And
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Peyton also said herself that she suffered with PTSD. So
Yeah,
she
because
could
Oh,
have
Peyton
I
snapped
is
at
didn't
any
in
know
the
given
that.
time.
military. Peyton is
Because
in
of
the
the
Yes.
military, and I think don't get so people like anybody who's watched her more than I have will correct me. But it sounded like that marriage that she had was very toxic too.
I think the marriage she had, I think it was a form of abusive marriage.
Yeah.
If anybody knows it was abusive marriage, like I said, like she said, she dealt with a lot of things in the service. I know some people that also dealt with that. They don't like the slightest bit of noise. Anything can egg them on or set them. You know what I mean? So you have to be careful when those people are experiencing things because they seen so much. They seen a lot of death. They seen, dismembered bodies in the war. So mentally, she's correct on that. Sometimes people go through stuff. But if you can say that out your mouth, knowing you're a person that deals with that, shame on you for even saying that. Because you should have thought to yourself, that woman could have just came out the box and hurt both of us.
Yes.
I
Hmm.
mean, but I look more at it like some of the most recent cases I've seen, like that because like I said, I followed a bunch of different channels, and I hear about cases that are across the country that I normally I wouldn't hear because they're black people, so they don't really talk about them in mainstream media. But like you think that you're coming there as girl power solidarity, and then both of them turn on you, and then they'll take you outside to go, y'all go have supposedly civil conversation, and then they lure you somewhere and hurt you yourself. So,
Mm-hmm.
that closure
But that's what I'm
thing.
saying.
Yeah, that the
Mm-hmm.
closure thing. It's like, okay, call him, ask him, get them on a three-way call. It's like, look, what are you doing with her? What's the deal with her? We
I
don't need
wouldn't even
to.
need that at 40. I didn't need that after
At
40
40,
either.
no, at 41, hell no. I'm just
At
like,
that thing, I
whatever.
just feel like it's all of the matter of because, and it goes back to a person feeling like they invested their time. For her, I invested my time. I invested my heart. I invested this money. I invested my home. I opened up myself to give him a chance to be who he needed to be. But at the same time, when she told that story, I didn't hear her. She took slight accountability, but I feel like, because I don't know if you all know that the young lady, she claimed that the young lady was trying to, I guess, get money from her now.
Oh
Oh
no.
no.
Yeah,
Who
she said
tell
that.
Yeah, because you
her?
took her to T-Mobile trying to get her a phone, trying to buy her.
Yeah, she was
So
saying
Repeat
that the young
that.
lady.
yeah,
Yeah, she said that the young lady at this point was trying to get money from her. Now, somebody wrote something in her
What?
comment. She said the young lady was trying to get some money from her. But the point I'm trying to make about that is, the young lady probably mad like, "Dad, you kind of paint me out like I'm some type of dummy or goofy or." But you were just as much of a fool as I was, because
Cause
we both invested. And then the lady said she used unprotected sex with the man for 2 months. Peyton ain't said not one time did she. And I feel like that's probably
she
what really
probably
killed her,
didn't.
because she
Mm,
probably had unprotected sex herself with
mm.
this man. Allegedly, I don't know. I'm just speculating.
You know that them church boys be like Jesus doesn't want. If we have a baby, it's gonna be it's God's will. You know they like to play that
Yeah,
whole
because she
game
said
with
like
you.
she said I thought I was gonna have my boys, but I'm just like, you also said there were red flags, but I just like I'm never gonna say even just listening to that whole story, and for her to
she
even
left some stuff
say,
out.
yeah, it's like bits and pieces were left out. And I just feel like also that I feel like you were more geared towards her. Like, oh, if she kind of like never would have said nothing, me and her could have been living in bliss. Hell no. I'm glad that you should be happy that she told you. It wasn't about her trying to destroy you on purpose. It was more so her trying to show her, like, yeah, you think you're going to play with me? I'm going to let it be air out that you doing X, Y, Z. It wasn't about you. It was about that woman being hurt, just like you was hurt, but she was being hurt. She was like, dang, he kind of played both of us, but you kind of outed me, kind of put me out here like, oh, she really is in love with him. You both were.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You
And
And
both
Marina, I
were.
think I think everybody, I think most people that are looking for relationships, looking for, as I said, they're not letting them come to them. They looking for them. They idolizing and fantasizing this Jay Z and Beyonce
mm-hmm.
relationship when they don't really don't know what Jay Z and Beyonce for real
Right.
been through. You know what I'm
Bad
saying?
Right.
stuff.
Because even like people look at my marriage and it's just like, oh, I want to be with somebody. You got to hug. Da, 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
This been cultivating for decades. This ain't something that I just met him yesterday and we getting married and I don't really know him or his family or nothing. Like it took some time to get there. And what I see these days is, and it kind of bothers me when I see somebody with another person that that person, you care more for that person than they care about you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's like y'all
And I think in this
should
case
be
that's what it
caring for
was.
each other.
I think in this case that's what it was. And sometimes look, let me just say this, and we all know, the ones that are spiritual, will most definitely understand. They
Mm-hmm.
said they said the devil knows the Bible too. How about that
Okay.
one?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
He
Better
knows
than
what
Mm-hmm.
you want.
us.
He knows what you want, so he gonna give you what you want.
Right.
The snake with the silver tongue. So that
Okay.
man, I'm from Chicago, and he's from Chicago, right? That man
Mm-hmm.
is a finesser. He know the gift of the game. He know the gift to gab. There's no way
Yeah.
you sit up here and lie to this woman knowing what she wanted. But see, here it
Right.
is. Well, you're a woman and you said you've been in the Word and the Lord and this. It should never took a man to take you back to church. You should have been going back to church because that's what
Right.
you were
On your
supposed to
own.
be doing. See, God
Right.
don't like that either. They said God said let no man come before Him, and He's jealous and He's merciful, but He most definitely is a jealous God. You should have known that. You should
And
have known
see
that
the
men
whole
don't come before Him. Sorry,
and,
not sorry.
And you know what? My thing is too, I hope moving forward because as women, like you said, they tend to, well, I said they sometimes backslide, fall back, make excuses. These men need to be held accountable. And, these men out here, if you are not trying to settle down, if you don't want to be a
Right.
one woman man, there are a
Don't
lot of
lie about
women
it.
right. There's a lot of women who will go along with that. Believe
Yeah.
it. They act like these women
Mm-hmm.
don't exist. They do.
Oh,
There are
almost
some
going
women.
along with
So
it.
get with a woman who is okay with you, dibble dabbling on the side. But then when he was confronted with it, and see, this is a hard stop for me, and I hope it is for her. This man showed that I mean, yeah, the girl might have been aggressor, but the girl also said that obviously this wasn't the first go around. So he likes to play with his hands. Why would she put herself in a position? And she was kind of casual. Now I didn't know that he showed up after this all happened, but she did
Hmm.
mention something about he's still calling or whatever. I'm like, you need to watch your back because you don't want to be one of like a story to another kind of story time that you ain't telling, and you
But
got a
see,
daughter out
that's
there.
because there's a thought. That's because there's a thought to where who wants to really let go. Sometimes you have women that have, and I've experienced this with friends of mine in the past that were in bad relationships. They knew they were in bad relationships. So just because they didn't want the other woman to feel like they
Hmm.
Yeah,
won, it's
yeah,
all about who
yeah,
won. Oh,
yep.
she won. I'm not gonna let him go. Well, shoot, I ain't gonna let him go either. And he looked like, oh, oh yeah, they both want me,
Hmm.
but they
Yeah.
both have, both have love in their heart, obviously, for that man. For that woman to say
But
she was with this man for 2 months and unprotected, no, sir.
my personal safety, I love myself too much. I ain't because I already said you talking about putting hands on me. It's gonna be the battle royale. I might lose,
I
but you're
mean,
gonna
putting
have my
hand,
DNA.
yeah,
You're gonna have
that too,
my
sweetheart.
DNA. You gonna have
Yes,
my DNA all over you, and you threatening to come and
but
do
guess
something.
what?
I'm sitting on my front
If
porch
I'm
waiting for
unprotected
you.
with you too, if I'm unprotected with you, and then you playing with my life,
Mhm.
and you sleeping with somebody else, oh
Mhm.
yeah, that could take somebody out too.
Mhm.
Cause now
Yep.
you playing Russian roulette, and you ain't let me know you got something going on over here. But like I
Right.
said, it's the battle of, and I'm not, because we don't know what's going on with the other young lady on the end. Whether because I feel like if you want to apologize to one, you should apologize to the other. It's just
Yep.
like making it that
Yep.
one more person more better than the other person. Because let me tell you something. When I understand, and we all know about men going to gravitate to who he feels got a little bit more. And not to say the
Hmm.
teacher probably didn't have nothing going on, but he knows, he sees what he sees. He's saying, "Oh yeah, I probably kiss your A too if you got all this going on, and I see what you got, and I know what you could do for me." Some people can be in love with what you do
Exactly.
for them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mhm.
And sometimes men, they smell like, sounds like men like that, because he sounds like the kind of man that I think he may be. Well, it's probably pretty much the truth that he's a conniver. He goes for what's weaker. He goes for what's obtainable. So he knows he can. He may try to contact Peyton because she's got more, but
But that's what I'm
he's go-
saying.
he's gonna he's still gonna go, and he may not be as nice and as seductive or anything, because he probably knows that he has more pull with the other young lady, because she's probably,
The more vulnerable position.
yeah, and she's probably easier to manipulate too.
Yeah.
I think I think in that case they probably are, because at the end of the day, like I said, if for her to even say, yeah, for the past 2 months they've been unprotected, it's crazy work to me. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's like you really was playing a deadly game, because people will lose their minds, especially when it comes to their body, and especially when a woman really feel like she's really in tune with you. At this
Hmm.
point, Peyton was in love and in tune with him too for 7 months. You think they probably not being unprotected? So that's probably why she was like, oh no, I'm gonna show up at your house. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. But I just feel like the worst thing you could do for a man is allow him to show him how mentally connected you are with him, to a point where you willing to kind of like lose your cool or lose a little piece of yourself to show him like, yeah, I'm finna come to your house. I'm finna do that. Now you done messed up, because now you show him he got your mind.
Yeah.
Right.
Without the mind, the body is nothing.
Okay.
And my mind, I always have to protect the body, okay, but your mind is the strongest thing in this entire world. So I
Mhm.
would most definitely protect my mental than actually well, hell, I'm gonna protect my body as well. But y'all know what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say
that
is that
Yeah.
when
usually
you
goes
lose
hand
your
in
mind,
hand.
it's a wrap on that. You know what I mean? And so
Right.
like I said, they could have went bad for all three of them because
Yeah.
obviously the girl probably wasn't planning on coming up there and cutting up. But when you see somebody, you're like, oh, okay, well, because no, we don't know. We wasn't there at the bowling alley to get the whole logistics of the story to see how
Hmm.
it really panned out. But for you to still stand there as a woman and watch this man physically, him, well, like I said, she was in the wrong too. But put your hands on the man because you shouldn't do that either.
Mm-mm.
But for you to stand there and watch it as a woman and watch a man physically throw a woman around or whatever he did to her, what type of respect you really have as a woman for yourself as being a woman? Because if I think that, I'm like, oh, okay, you an abuser.
You know the
Okay.
part.
Mm-mm, she went to walk her dog.
Yeah. You know the part that
Yeah.
gets me is that she done confronted him twice. And then she says, okay, well, let's go hang out. Let's go to the bowling. And I'm coming to your house. No, we'll meet at the bowling alley. So already, the whole public, but the whole meeting thing, this is so raw and she's in her emotions and feelings. To me, it just seems like it was too risky. No matter, I can't wrap my head around this whole let's meet up thing. I just can't wrap my head around it.
It
But
was. It was very risky.
and it's like I know everything I need to know. She knew by that second the long messages because she even said that there was things that the girl indicated about the lash and all the other stuff, and her gut
Pictures
was
in his
telling her.
house.
Yeah.
Pictures in his house is enough. Like she
So,
ain't Photoshop
Hmm.
no pictures in
mhm,
this man's house.
yeah.
But you know
Mhm.
what? It meant so much to her because some women, what I'm saying, like I said, I had a couple of friends that was like that in the past. That meant something to her because like, oh, I got a key to the house, so that means he loved me more than she could. Do you have a key to this house? Because that's stupid. That's the stupid shit we ask. Some dumb stuff like do you have a key to his house? Oh no, okay, well he must really love me because I got a key to his house. No, that means that he played his cards right.
Do y'all think
That's
she
what he
just wanted
did.
to see her too? Do you think that people
Yeah,
just want to
yeah,
see the competition
of
too?
course. Oh, did she say something? She said, "Oh, because she was a chocolate woman." What the does that mean? What did that mean?
That
What
I
did
think
that
that's
mean?
ego. I think it's ego for Peyton, and I'm not trying to judge her because I don't watch her enough. Like I said, I like the way she set up her platform. I like the way she presents and everything. But I know that that's her platform, and that's what she's going to do for those sponsorships and everything. But my thing is, I think, like I said before, I think a lot of people judge her harshly though with this, and some people could say we are, but I think the part of the problem is that in that whole lifestyle community and aesthetic community, they put on just like those couple goes, they put on to the point where they realize they don't they get trapped because a lot of those people truly believe and they think that her PayPal's love her to death and they think that she's the most special thing in the world, and for them to see something like this for her, she got to almost kind of like come up and say, I'm better than this or I don't deserve this. Guess what? All women, a lot of us had this experience, Peyton. So you're not any different from anybody else. And how you handle it, you handling it publicly. And like I said earlier, I think she spilled her own tea because you know how the blogs are, and
But
she is
she said
somewhat,
that.
yeah.
She
So
said
she's
that.
somewhat popular, and we know how they spin things. So when you leave things like with Shirley, if they leave things up for speculation, people throw their own spin on it. But this ninja, like I said earlier, Vicky kind of countered. She kind of was on the opposite end of it. I said for Peyton, and maybe this is just for her alone or anybody else in her position. If you know that people know, if this has happened twice apparently, out of the comments, out of her followers, somebody is dipping with her man, but like him being in the background kept him. If she had never brought him to the forefront, like Lady T Bug said, how long would this have went on? So I was like up front, and your picture gonna be up here because people gonna tell me what I need to know. Because one, because they love me, and two, they messy. So there's something I need to know before we do this.
But
Right.
see, the
But
crazy part is
also,
that the
Banks,
lady
she
wasn't even
thought
at
she
she.
had
Go ahead,
Yeah, but
sweetheart.
she thought she had a partner, and she was bringing
Mm-hmm.
him out front because, in my mind, as I was listening to it, because I tell my friends all the time, I don't have a conventional marriage. We're not entangled to the point to where we get a divorce. We're gonna have to sit down at the table and know, because my stuff is my stuff, your stuff is your stuff. We got easily
He
split.
really
Right.
the
We
roommate
gonna
at that
Right.
easy.
point.
We gonna easily split this thing when we walk out the
Exactly.
door if that happens. And it's not gonna be no, oh, we gotta do this. No, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I felt like she was bringing the way I was feeling about it. I felt like she was bringing him out because we're finna be couple goals. I got
Yeah.
my man of God, this, that, woo woo. And it wasn't I'm trying to protect because honestly, I'm not gonna bring him out front for people to see in the beginning because as a content creator or whatever she does, because I don't even know who she is, but at some part of your life gotta be private. Because I'm not
Yeah.
True.
just on the
Well, I'm
social
just saying
media,
from her
but
past
some part,
experience. That's all.
even from
I,
past experience, some part has to be private. But as I was just saying, growth in time is not going to help her because even from past experience, she should have felt a little something and moved a little different.
Yeah.
But what
uh,
we all understand is, as women, sometimes we let those red flags, we turn them pink, we turn them white,
That's
we turn
true.
them orange.
you know,
They're
and
not
that's
red
why I
at the
said what I
moment,
said.
Yep.
and she
That's why I
was
said
just
what I
looking
said.
past that, and she was like I said a few minutes ago, she was trying to make something into something instead of letting it happen.
Yeah.
And if you
Yeah.
Naturally.
let
Mhm.
things happen
Yeah.
naturally
Naturally play itself
and not
out.
try to, that's why it took us a long time to stay together, because we got together and broke up. That's why I laugh when Miss E be talking about circling the block, because me and mine have circled the block I don't know how many times
Hey,
till we got it right. But
hey,
But
Yeah.
I,
see, that's the
because he was
thing.
always a safe space because I knew how he moved. So if he was moving funny, boy, come back when you moving different, because I ain't caught you up in nothing, but I don't like the way you moving.
hey,
Yeah,
So
but the
Selena.
thing is too is letting people know, like, as well. I always say, never always be available to a ninja. You know what I'm
Let me ask
saying?
you this.
Cause,
Marie, you watch her, don't you?
yeah, I do.
Let me ask you this. I'm sorry to cut you off, but this is
Hmm.
really pressing. I was thinking about it earlier, and it came back to me. I know she had said in her story time on Instagram how they would go out and people would recognize her. Now she's saying that when she showed him on the video, that's when this all came out. Do you think that that girl already knew he was seeing Peyton? Because people talk. Do you think that she may have already known that he was seeing Peyton?
No,
Okay.
no, because the story was, if anybody actually watches her, the story
Hmm.
was is that her mother was a PayPal,
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah. But I'm
and
just
so her
saying that.
mother.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I don't think she know.
Okay.
I don't think she know when she kind of like when her mother might have kind of like into her like, wait a minute, that's such dude, y'all dating the same dude, what, and then you kind of like, oh, you kind of like, a woman probably sat back like, let me go through these videos and let me see, so she probably plugged
Oh,
herself to them videos and checked it out like, oh, okay, she a big time, all right, and so I think that's, first with Peyton, she was justified by saying what she said, like, hey, you
mm,
better let me know something because people know me in these streets now. You know what I'm saying? And people love me like that. They'll tell me XYZ now. And
Mhm.
so I think that's what, but then I feel like when you're a person, yeah, she was kind of like, she wasn't all over the place, but I understood why she said what she said. I just want to just come down on her super hard.
mm.
Because when you want what you want, the matters of her can most definitely
True.
get on right when
That
you
is
want what you
true.
want. Sometimes it affects your judgment. For some of us are not as strong minded. Because I'm a strong minded person. If I don't like something, oh, it's not. Is what it is. It's not going down like that. But I just feel like loneliness for some women, when you've been alone by yourself for so long, can
Mhm.
overpower your judgment of seeing those red flags. Matter of fact, you see the red flags, but you don't care because you want what you want.
Mm,
You want what you want. You want love. I want to be by myself no more. I want to have somebody. Man, he just like everything. He go to church and knowing that he knew how her heart was. Oh, he go to church. He a God fearing man. But it's like, wow, to show me that
mhm,
you just it was all a facade. That's why I say you got to be careful because the devil knows what you want too. He knows the
mhm,
Bible front and back. You have to be careful with that, and you have to also, sometimes God try to remove you out of situations sometimes, and we'll keep ourselves in that. No,
That's why I
doggone way, we
stopped
ain't supposed to
dating.
be in it. We ain't
That's
supposed
why,
to be
yeah.
in it.
I stopped dating because like my picker is off. I was like, my picker is off a little bit. So I was like, I'm gonna chill for a minute. And then 1 year turned into 2 years and three. And I'm like, you know what? I'm at peace. I'm at peace.
Hmm.
And that's why I said I was hoping I look, I want Peyton to have her happily ever after, because that's what she wants, you know. But I also want her to have some discernment and be a little, and really, is there anything you really can do if a man is just going to cheat? To be at the end of the day,
Right.
like you could do just about anything that you can do, And I just hope that she does run into a good guy who has good intentions and a good heart and is willing to, go with this on this
Of
ride with
course.
her.
Yeah.
And she's a
Yeah.
romantic at heart. And I don't want women to stop being a romantic. Just because I'm single and I don't date, I am a romantic at heart.
I
I
am
love
too.
a
I'm a
good
hopeless
Same,
romantic
romantic, but
yeah.
I ain't for the. I'm a
yeah,
hopeless romantic, but I ain't for the bull crap. And the worst
right.
thing you can do is I don't
But
like a liar.
that's what I was getting ready to say. When you said some people are more strong minded, for me,
Hmm.
I can balance it. Whereas I've had people in my life, like I said, it took my sister a while to break up from her ex boyfriend, and for years I used to talk to her about like, what took you so long? She was like, I was afraid to be by myself,
Who was
and
that
Yeah.
said that's
I
supposed to
didn't
be in the block?
yeah, and she did. I didn't understand that because I have went through periods of being single. I was been very independent, and like you, I like what I like, and I want what I want. And there was a period of time I was stuck, like you said. The heart
Hmm.
wanted what it wanted, but once I broke free of that, it was like, okay, I want to always have this choice. And I still to this day, I don't give up on romance. If I meet my Mister right at the grocery store tomorrow or at the mailbox, so be it. So I am a romantic, but like you said. It's not going to be at the cost of me. That's
Right.
Right. I
Yeah.
don't want it to be a cost to me, but it also goes back to what that song said. It takes a fool to learn that love don't love nobody. Sometimes you gotta suffer. You know what I'm
You know,
saying?
and you know what, Bank?
Sometimes
I
you gotta suffer, but
we're back to the
it's hard for.
old school.
I'm saying, but I feel for any woman. I wouldn't want any woman to go through that heartbreak, especially when you feel like, dang, like I want love, and I
Hmm.
know who I am, and I know what I got to give, and that's the hard part for a lot of us women because a lot of us women we are nurturers by we by nurturers by nature. Some of us, not all,
Hmm.
by nature. So when you want what you want, you're like, dad, you kind of like sacrifice yourself. You really sacrifice yourself, and you kind of open yourself up for that whammy to a degree. You know what I mean? I don't feel like either woman deserves what they got, but I feel like if you saw those red flags, like old girl said she seen the lashes, and even when Peyton said, he would always have his phone down. It's kind of like, ooh, you kind of seen that. So how I'm supposed to feel about you right now? Oh, you seen that too? Ooh, no, So it's kind of like you kind of knew what you knew, but it's unfortunate you had to get the short end of the stick.
you know
Both
what,
women.
Bank? I was it was a s I started thinking. I'm like, okay, recently, because I've been single now for like over little bit over 4 years.
Hmm.
And I have not wanted to date. I've enjoyed it. I got a dog. I'm enjoyed my time.
So,
I'm enjoying myself. Like I like being able to come home to know ain't nobody here. I ain't got to worry about nobody else. Like
yes.
I really do enjoy that. And then recently, there was someone at work who I'm like, oh, we kind of have the same interests, and I was, thinking I was gonna approach him, and he was a little bit younger than me, and then I all of a sudden he stopped coming into work, and then I found out he's exiting the company, and I'm like, well, damn, that's God's sign. I think I took that as God's sign. It's like you're not ready yet
Yeah.
because I have messed up and dated guys at my place of business before too, and I've
Yeah.
ended up in these long-term relationships, and they haven't always been good because I have a bad picker too. So
Okay.
maybe that was I think that sometimes you have to kind of accept the universe's signs
But
and
we have
God's
to stop
signs.
saying, I'm sorry, I mean to control, but sometimes we got to stop saying a bad picker.
No,
Because
I
I mean,
agree with
even
that.
although we see what we see, but sometimes it be the wrong people coming to us, and we always have to change who we are. Some of those
Yeah.
people that come to us, especially when we say when we were putting out what it is that we want for ourselves, and you still try to play us in a certain type of way. Sometimes it's not us. Sometimes it's the people that's coming to us that are horrible. And
Yeah,
then we just found out that's like, oh, you are sucky. You know what I'm
but
saying?
the problem is I be selecting them, so they come to me, but then I'm like, oh shit, I
Yeah,
still
you select them, but it's still
I
not
get
your
what
fault
you're
that
saying.
they're
I get
dud
what you're saying.
firecrackers. You know what I'm saying? They're
Right.
firecrackers that
Yeah.
ain't gonna never pop. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
A
I get
bad
what you're
picker don't
saying.
mean it's your fault. Cause just like you pick a bad apple or orange at the store, it ain't your fault. It's bad.
Oh,
It's just you picked
Right.
the wrong
no,
one.
That's
don't get
That's
me
all.
wrong. I get that, but at the time, it was like, okay, you making some bad choices. Just chill. Now, as I moved on from that moment, I know it's not. it's not me. I knew it was more them. That's why I always say we always looking to see what we did wrong or what we did wrong to contribute. And sometimes we do stuff wrong, so let's just admit it. But sometimes it just wasn't the right person, like you're saying, Verena. And
Mm-hmm.
stop being so hard on herself. That's why now I'm more patient. I think that's why I was more patient. I'm like, I'm not very aggressive. I've never been aggressive female, probably except in my 20s when I was really smelling myself. But I'm kind of more of a laid back. I'm not saying that the guy got to come to me, but I'm into those. I guess, like I said, I'm a romantic. I am into that serendipitous, like, oh, we both loved. I've got a tennis match and he's there, and oh, our eyes meet, kind
That's
of.
me too. Yeah, that's me now too.
Right.
So I'll
I
give
was,
a man a chance. It's just that nobody has tipped my meter. You know what I mean? Right now,
yeah, and that's how I felt too until this guy. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, that's pretty much what it is. So
Yeah,
I get
it's in
what you said,
timing
Marina.
though.
You're right.
It's
You're right.
yeah,
Well,
it's in
listen to what you
timing.
just said though, Bank.
Mhm,
You just said the operative word, which is
mhm,
why it's the bad picker. You give them a chance, and see
mhm.
that's something that they don't give us because if you think
Right.
about it, it's
True.
definitely a different issue when it
You're
comes to
right.
male and female of it all. Because men, if you look like you're cheating, or if you look like you not on a team, you gotta go. But
Mhm.
they want
Hmm.
us to give them a
Blind
chance,
Lord.
and
Yep.
that's
Mm-hmm.
just what he was doing to her. That's why he blowing up your phone calling back, because what I don't like to say, but what is true is a lot of people, men especially, that are in organized religions, sports, and different things of that nature, where
Mm-hmm.
you have to be disciplined in a certain thing, and you know how to run the gameplay, shall I say, and you
Mm-hmm.
know how
Hmm.
to speak in those tongues, or you know how to speak and or Pied Joe Piper, and they follow that, is generally something that men do to women, and it's not very often done from vice versa. But sometimes you got women that do it too. But the operative thing that was just said was, and it's something that we do, and I'm gonna say we because I know I done it. I can
Mhm.
promise you I done it, even with my husband. We give people a
Great.
chance
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
but they, the minute it looked wrong or obtuse, they out.
But that's
But
why
For
I
the most
say at the
part.
end of the day, we're our nature is gonna always be different from man. You know what I'm
And we
saying?
condition, unfortunately, too. We can, especially when we're young, so we're impressionable, and then that kind of molds us to sometimes in our thinking that we have been, like you said, it's in our nature. But also, too, that's why when this whole mess came out about the what is that, the traditional wife and all that stuff, and I even had to question myself because my mother wasn't a traditional wife. She'd never been a traditional wife, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I seen even in even when she married my dad, I seen her strength because he showed her that it was okay for her to take a rest, to let him carry some of the weight. Until he showed her that she was not going to marry my father, and he managed to do that, and he modeled that for me. And that's why I say when my picker was bad, I guess maybe that was a bad way of saying it. But then when I try to get to learn this man, and I realized I can't depend on him, or he's not showing me the traits of what I need, then I peel back. But like you said, Verena, they do have the society is giving them more leeway to push us to the side. They got women out here thinking that you're done and over with by the time you turn 29. You might as well hang it up. It's just
Yeah.
Hmm.
crazy. It's like upside down world.
I just feel like the thing
and
is
bank.
about self love and just respecting yourself and just sticking to your standards and what it is you want. But also
Yeah.
from myself, because I am in the dating world, what I've learned over these years is protecting my peace. Anything that's going to disturb my peace, I don't want to have anything to do with it. The moment you think you finna say, oh, where you been today? I'm like, okay, you nosy. You want to know my whereabouts? I don't like that. So I don't like that. I don't want you to know everywhere I'm going. And we not there. We not on that level to where we're in a relationship and you care. Because I still feel like even if we're in a relationship, I don't need you to know my everywhere, but I want you to understand that wherever I am, that you can trust.
Right.
that I'm where I'm supposed to be. When you start asking
Right.
them 21 questions with me, that's a turn off to me. It's like, okay, red
Yep. Yes,
flag.
sir.
It's going to be a pre-existing issue. You're going to always want to know where I'm at, and I don't like that because it makes me
Mm-hmm.
uncomfortable. So
Yeah.
anything that's going to disturb my peace of mind, like most definitely when it comes to my home is my peace of mind. You ain't coming up in here and causing that drama up in here. That's not happening because you're going to see yourself back out that door. That's just what it is. I learned that about myself. I learned I'm more intolerable as I've gotten older now. And I'm 50.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Even when I was 30 years old, and I'm going to be honest because I'm very straightforward. I went through some bull crap, but it's what I took myself through.
Mm-hmm.
It's what I took myself through. And I said, what you gonna do that for? Like, that no, this is not what you do. That's why I said that everybody has a good and the bad side. My side was like, okay, well, you just what you want to be on. I'm gonna be on the same thing too. But I was like, no, that's not what you want. So it's kind of like you're conforming yourself to
Yeah.
somebody else to a degree. So when I
Mm-hmm.
realized that's what I was doing, I said, you know what? We could start this over. But of course, I'm not starting this over with you. I'm gonna exit stage left and you go to the right. That's what it is, and that's what I had to do. For now, my peace of mind is everything. Me being calm is everything. Me not being I don't want to be stressed by somebody that has insecurities. I don't want to go through the thing like, oh, who's in your phone? What you got on? What you putting on? Why you got that
Mm-hmm.
red lipstick on? Why you hair curled up? Why
Mm-hmm.
you got that type of? I don't want to go through that. When I start hearing all that stuff,
Yep.
that's time for me to back
Yep.
up. I don't want that because that's an obsession.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just feel like in this case, hopefully she didn't backtrack on herself and just know her self worth and just know that it still ain't your time. Because there's a lot of women that's not going to be married, just like there's a lot of women that don't have kids. You get what I'm
Right.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
Like
she has
me.
to expect that. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to expect that. There's nothing wrong with it because a lot of us are going to be alone. We're
Mm-hmm.
gonna be alone.
And I made peace with that. Like I said, I'm not going to, like you said, I'm not going to, I'm protecting my peace. That's why I said, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. I filled my life up and I get enough love from the people that matter to me to make, I don't feel empty. I do not feel
Hmm.
empty without a man because I get a lot of love, but I've also made space. I will make space for for that person that we fit. So, that's why I'm not going to force it. And it kind of speaks to what Shan said about trying to make fetch happen. Like she should, if she had just let this progress in this natural way, because eventually that girl, now we don't know how long it would have taken, but I'm pretty sure he would have slipped up to the point where she would have probably found out, not via social media, but eventually he would have showed his true colors. And,
But that's what
she
I
would have
said.
to make
It was coming out. And trust and believe, but when they were breaking up off and on, when she said it kind of like a headache breaking in between, it was
Uh-huh.
happening. But guess what happened? Because we want what we want, we stay. Because we like,
Okay.
oh, we just had a little spout. It was nothing. But how many times you had that spout is what you should be looking at. 4, 3, 6, 7. If
right.
it's that many times, you need to run. You don't need to be there. That means it's a problem. Because if we're not getting along, we have no reason to get along because we're learning each other. Okay. I don't like this when you did that. And we're not able to talk about it and we arguing about it. And I get kind of like, okay, I can kind of get crazy or get violent. That's when you know that's your time to exit. When you start to behave in a way that you normally shouldn't be behaving. But again, a lot of women stay because they want what they want because they don't want to be alone. Loneliness is a dish best served cold. A lot of women are here alone. Hence why they make it improper choices. Hence why a lot of women are not here today
Mm-hmm.
because they're scared to be by themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The best time for you to really get to know yourself is when you are alone, because it lets you
Right.
know, like, this is what I don't want, this is what I do want. I'm not tolerate this, or I'll tolerate. Okay, I'll tolerate. Well, I don't want to tolerate your feet sour. With your feet sour, we could do something about that. You know what I'm saying? Like little simple stuff. But when it started coming to the big things where you start to be aggressive with me, you don't have to talk to me without aggression in your voice. That's an issue. I don't want to be bothered with that. I don't want to have to worry if he's going to be abusive. But like I said, that day in that bowling alley, they gave her what clarity did you need? It. They gave you extra clarity.
Yeah.
That should
I
have been
agree with
over.
it.
That should have been over.
Like,
You popping up in my house. That should have been over with. What more did you need to know? I understand the broken heart. I get it. I get it. But
But he was
what
acting
scares
like
me,
nothing happened. Remember, to him, it was like nothing happened. And she's a stalker, and we good, and
but
that's it.
he also when she got to church that day,
Oh,
like I said, a lot of y'all don't. probably didn't pay attention, but she
Mhm.
also said that he went to church after church when she went to church because she said she wasn't going to go to church, but she said forget it. It was going to be her last time. She talked to the pastor, told her it's her last time coming there because this was his safe space, and she didn't want to disturb that. And so she said she cried and she hugged the pastor, and she said he came up and I guess she hugged him too, and she left. He came where she was, I
Oh,
guess, by his car or something like that, by her car, and she said she was crying because he said, "Forget it." I guess like I'm gonna go ahead and tell you the truth. She said, "I guess he told me the truth because he was on church grounds." I'm like, "Church ground, girl, that ain't got nothing to do with. He had to tell the truth because to
but
cut
you
the bull
still
crap. Now
looking to
don't convince.
cover up
Yeah,
the
yeah,
man.
like you still trying to fit. No, cut the bull crap. He had to say what he said because guess what? He's losing his bag.
Mm-hmm.
He's losing his bag, and he probably generally do love her because, like I said, it's the difference between love what you do for me, and
Mhm.
actually being in love with you. You get what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
love what you show me. I love that she give gifts. I love that she could buy me anything I want. Hey, you just love me the way I want to be loved and take care of me. Hey, love me
Mhm.
with all your heart, and you can get anything you want. I'll take care of my man. I'll cook it and clean it and all the stuff like that. That's who she is, and it's
It be
unfortunate
stunning
again.
too. So he felt like
Right,
when she was
Shelly.
on his arm, he felt like he was the man. Peyton is,
The
she wanted to
Beyonce.
work together. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but like I said, I don't think that she's a jacked up person. But I just feel like at the end of the day, I think I think a lot of women have their insecurities. Even when she made that comment, she said, when I really look back at my ex boyfriend, he wasn't that bad. She said, although he did traumatize me too, but he wasn't all that bad. I guess according to what dude did. She was saying he's not all that bad, but even
Right.
still, anytime you feel like okay, and it was a video it's on her TikTok where she said something for Christmas, something ladies get in your man phone and get the code. I'm like, see, that's the problem because
Mm-hmm.
you have insecurities. You're
Right.
going to self sabotage your own relationships each and every time because you feel like you got
Mm-hmm.
to have a passcode to your man phone. You feel like if he put his phone down, sometimes people like they put the phone there like just to kind of like have no distraction to be able to look at their phone. You don't know. You ask her questions, but when she sat in that kitchen and he said, "Well, you got 3 times to figure out my password." You laughing in my face with all this saying you being bogus. You know what I mean? So he said,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
"Oh, you recorded me." He said, "Wait a minute, you really recorded me typing in my password?" And she just kind of like sat at the counter in her home, smiling. And I'm like, "Dang." At the end of the day,
Oh yeah.
fool, why you didn't run? You know what I'm saying? Like as a man, why you didn't run if you knew she was doing all that? You know what I'm saying? When you figured it like, oh, she doing that, like, because in his mind he
Yeah.
thinking she's never gonna find out. She's never gonna find out. But then she did.
When you go
This ain't
look,
the first.
you'll find. You,
This ain't the first that she said that. She said I went to something, and I found something. So each and every when that y'all, I don't know. Again, it's an incident when she was dating this dude, and she was sitting in the bathroom. And he was talking to another woman on the phone in her house.
mm,
So
mm,
at the end of the day, she just had
mm,
bad life situations when it came to dating and having relationships with people that she thought that she could potentially have a life with and grow with. And again, it's just unfortunate with her that she has these bad seeds coming to her. You know what I mean? But again, sometimes we do. I agree with the young lady on the panel that sometimes we kind of pick and choose, but we picking and choosing because, like I said, some women don't want to be alone
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
out of stupidity, out of loneliness. Loneliness for a lot of women these days is a killer.
Mm-hmm.
Social media is a killer because it gives these people the ideology of what a relationship looks like. Oh, they going on trips together. They you be sitting by the pool together, drinking on Chardonnay, and we eating these extravagant meals, and we going shopping together. And I have a certain aesthetic that I would like, and I think that's where a lot of people fall victim to.
It's funny. I watch some content, and I watch a lot of travel content because I like my,
Mhm.
my travelers. But also, what I realized when you just said that about social media and mixing it in with what Peyton's got going on is that the girl, and I know everything is curated, so we don't know really what's going on. But sometimes you just get this gut feeling by the way they talk and they present and they look. And some of the young girls that are around Peyton's age, one of them in particular I follow, she's in Thailand and she's single, and and she's been single for a while, and it seems like there's a freedom of movement and a freedom of self. Like you said, it's like these women, these ladies are starting, they're getting to know themselves. And like I said, I don't even really watch Peyton, but I hear about her, a little bit. I just kind of wish for, and this is just me projecting onto her,
Hmm.
that she would just be, she wouldn't need this relationship thing to be a part. Like, is this the final puzzle piece, at least right now? Like, give herself permission to not necessarily just about healing, but to really be alone and enjoy her success in her time. And I think maybe she felt like she's already done that, or she did that before, but she's in a different space now, because even coming out of her marriage, she is more successful. She's more independent. I think she's proved a lot to herself, and she should really be patting herself on the back and not being so hard on herself for being single. But then again, like I said, I have a friend who's in love with being in love. And if she's not in a relationship, then then she doesn't feel complete. So I don't know if that's something that is just a personality thing, or something maybe she can grow into. Or like I said, who knows? Maybe the next guy will be the one. I don't know. It'll be
I feel like you got to
interesting.
go through the bad before you get to the good, and
That's
sometimes
true.
you got to go through a lot of the bad before you actually get to the good. And it may seem for some women like, oh my God, it's such hopelessness. Like I feel hopeless because this is never going to happen for me. But it's like it's
Yeah.
going to happen again in due time. And sometimes due time could be 2 years, could be 3 years, could be 4 years. You know what I mean? Like through your dating process, because even for myself, still in the
Mhm.
dating pool,
Mhm.
it's like, man, the knuckleheads and the ones that still
Right.
think they got, and the ones that still think they have time, the ones
Yeah.
they thinking like, oh well, I'll still get about 5 more years. Okay, 5 more years, you might stop, you might have heart disease, you might have kidney failure,
Mhm.
you might be crippled, you might be blind, anything. You really think somebody
Mhm.
want to take care of you then? Now
Mhm.
somebody said something about hospice wife. I don't want to be a hospice wife.
Right,
When you
right.
everything is done for you, now you all decrepit and stuff, now you want me to take care of you? No. No. When I wanted
Played
to be
out,
in the
broke
presence, and
down.
exactly now you know dilapidated looking and stuff. Now you like, oh, okay, well I still got it. No, you don't, bro. You missing a tooth, brother. What you like, man? How we gonna eat meals together? I gotta cut your food up in baby bites. Who trying to do that? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to be taking care of you, because at that point that should have been a part of when I wanted you to be in my presence. You didn't want to be there. So I'm not
Mhm.
backtracking. I'm gonna move on just like you moved on. Like you decided to have a good time. Let me continue to have a good time. Cause I had a few guys that thought they was gonna double back. No, no, no. You wanted what you wanted. Now that you all raggedy looking, you thinking
Yeah.
I'm gonna look back at you? No, your whiskers ain't. You missing a couple of whiskers. No, we good. We're not. We're not doing that. And so I feel like that's what's happening in this dating pool. Is that the guys almost feel like some guys feel like they running out of time, because they feel like, okay, now I want to settle down with somebody.
Yeah. Well settled. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not. So now they're trying to go back to what they think is familiar, because they feel like, okay, this person probably like double back a couple, with me a few times. That let me see if she's still available.
Yeah. Oh,
No,
I
Hmm.
had
no.
that. Look, I chased off one because, and that was just, I did it just for kicks and giggles. I already knew what it was. When he reached out to me, I was like, well, right now I'm looking for a relationship. I'm looking to settle down. Boy, he could have been Carl Lewis when I said that. And I said, see, don't come and
Real
play.
bad.
Don't come and play with me, because I already know what you're trying to do, and I'm not a good time girl. Nope. Mm-mm.
And
Mm-mm.
that's what's happening. And I feel like, when fun is fun, I just feel like, a man told me this years ago. He was like, Verena, there's no age for a man to stop playing, because some men are gonna still play till they
Yep.
75 years old.
Yep.
It's a lot of older men
Mhm.
out here still playing, 70 years old, still thinking they in their 20s somewhere. So it's kind of like,
Yep.
be dang if you do, be dang if you don't. It's all about what you choosing to tolerate in your life. And
Yeah.
I'd rather go through my life being peaceful. And if I decide I want to play with somebody, I'm gonna play with you. You're not gonna play with me. That's
Teach
just
your
what it
time.
is.
You got, when your classes start, Verena?
You know, Marina be putting it down.
Because I'm
And
gonna
it's funny
sign
that
up.
she say that because I'm the one that double back. I every time I got done with what I was doing, or I was dealing with a dude, he was cheating, and I was like, forget you, girl, you can have him. She called me, girl, guess what? You can have him. He ain't mine either. and
Yeah.
I call him back. I'm like,
I'm
hey,
trying to
what
kick
you
myself
doing?
out, child.
He ain't got no
I got you.
he ain't got no girlfriend right now. Hey, let's go on a trip or let's do something.
Mm-mm-mm.
And every
Hmm.
time that's what I did. I was the one because I'm like, is you ready yet? Oh, you ain't ready. All right, bye.
At least y'all
And
both was on the
that's what
same
I'm
page
saying in
with
my
that.
head though. In my head, that's
Oh,
what I'm saying. I never said
Right.
that
okay.
verbally to him,
Right.
but every time I came back, I was just seeing where he was at. Like, you ready? No, you ain't ready. Let me
And
go.
I'm checking like
Hmm.
the
This
oven to make
ain't.
sure he was already cooked, he ain't
Yeah,
done yet.
temperature
Right.
check. Yeah,
Some people
temperature
still need
check.
time, right? You look like, shoot, you still need time. I'm gonna give you that time. You going over there, and I'm gonna go mind my business over here. You know, if I'm available,
Meant
and
to
I'm gonna say
be,
it again,
meant to
if
be.
I'm available,
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
If it's
that's
meant to
true.
be, it's meant to be, Verena.
You are
right? And I'm not waiting,
exactly right.
and I'm
Yeah,
not
well, I
waiting.
wish Peyton the best. I mean, I don't,
Yeah,
I get, but the only thing is that I think there's still a little bit of, I wouldn't say immaturity, but naivety, not how do you say it, naivety?
naiveness.
Yeah,
I mean,
and her going, falling so hard, so fast, and like I said,
Naivete.
yeah, she's
like
kind of
yeah.
super
Hmm.
romantic. I can see that. I clearly see that, and I don't know if they. I kind of thank God that I don't have the things that she had, but I'm talking about the body and all that's going on. Because I don't know where I would be, with all that and people blowing up your head. Because she's. I'm not saying that she's conceited or anything, because I don't get that from her. But it's like she gives this aesthetic that she shouldn't be single, and that's the part of that social media pressure too. It's like you got all
Hmm.
this, you look like this. Why are you single? Because I used to get that, especially when I was younger. You too pretty to be single. I said, what does that mean? I still don't know what that
Exactly.
means. So I
Exactly.
don't know if there's some external pressure too. And then when you're in this world, there's a little bit of
Yeah,
competition when you see another content creator who's planning her wedding and got, doing all of this stuff. And, it's just too much. I like my anonymity. I like to go through my suffering in private. That I
And
guess.
I just feel like, the older you get, something, like I said, time wise, and for some people, that for her, she wants more kids. So she's probably looking at some people's biological clocks be ticking like, shoot, they have a cutoff point. I'm not having no more babies because at this point you become high risk. You
True.
know what I mean? So a lot of things happen during the course of a woman, having a baby at a specific age or whatever. So, I
Hmm.
mean, even when she stated like, I thought I was going to have my boys, and I can understand, like I said, I don't want to throw rocks at a woman. I don't want to throw that at a
hmm,
woman. But I also want you to be like, sometimes you got to really listen to yourself and listen to your heart. When you start seeing things, you have to kind of like, you have to pay attention to it. You can't just push it to the back of your head because you want what you want right in that moment. And even when she said, well, I feel like, did she say? And then she could have kind of like, probably in retrospect, like she couldn't have just really said anything. And me and him would have been living happily ever after. Why the frick would you? I want to know, because guess what? What if you would have got married and that person still was doing what they were doing?
right,
It's harder to get out of a marriage. Yeah, it's
You're
hard.
gonna be you're gonna be more hurt than ever, because now here it is. You done planned the wedding and spent
Mm.
some money,
right,
because she knows she gonna go out. She gonna go all out. You gonna spend some money and get all these people to come to this wedding just to find out that your dude wasn't really your dude. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I'd rather have the devastation in the 7 months
Earlier,
I've been with somebody
yeah,
than have the years of devastation. And now here it is,
yeah,
I be in jail because here I mentally lost my mind for hurting somebody, taking somebody out this earth, because you play with my emotions, you play with my heart, you play with my mind. You know what
Mm.
I mean? And he should have been careful too, because I don't know if she really told. I'm a firm believer. My mother used to always tell me, never tell a man too much about yourself, because they'll use
yeah.
the ammunition to shoot
Got
his
to,
gun
yeah.
at you.
Mm.
Hmm.
Never tell him so much about your life
Read
to
that.
where he uses that to hurt you
Yeah.
intentionally.
100.
Because
Mm-hmm.
some people do that to you. They'll use your life
Right,
against you. They lose bits and pieces. Oh yeah, that's why that man ain't with you, because
Mm-hmm.
you can't tell you can't tell the man of your past experience and every little detail that happened. You can only say, hey, I just hope you won't do what that other individual did to me. But I'm gonna see what it's gonna be like to be with you at this moment. You know what I'm saying? Until he proves otherwise, then you go with the flow. But like I said, we just gotta stay protected when it comes to stuff like that, because like I said, men pay attention to us too. They pay attention to how we looking at them with the googly eyes. Oh yeah, she in love with me. Oh yeah, I put it on her. I did all this. I'm making her feel like this and this and that. to where we'll do anything. Not me, because I don't believe in giving. No, I ain't giving you my money. I ain't giving you all that. I'm gonna give you my
Mm-hmm.
heart, and give you a little bit of my heart. But some of us give too much before time.
Yeah.
We give too much before time. Some things are not to be given away. I don't care what. I don't care if it's 6 months, 7 months. Certain things are just not for us to give away so soon. And this is me learning from it. This is me telling y'all this from my own experience when I was
Yeah.
younger and dating. Sometimes I'm like, oh, you talking too much. Until my mother had to sit me down. You don't never tell no. Da, 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 da. You don't tell them your business because they'll use it up. So I took that and I told my daughter. And I have two other daughters. I have an older daughter that to this day, she said, "Ma, I can understand why you always say you're never telling me in your business, because I told da 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 da, and it was used against me." I said, "That's what I was taught when I was younger. Everything meant to be told and sold. That's just what it is." But love on
Right.
yourself so much that you ain't gonna tolerate nobody's bull crap, and you gonna see past the bull crap, and you're gonna to nip that in the bud before it gets any further. So hopefully her heart will heal. Sorry, those things happen to us, but I'm gonna tell you this: that's life.
Yeah.
This is life. It happens. You are not exempt. We are not exempt for things happening to us. And the better you understand that, and the better you can get a grip on that, I promise it'll be so much better. It's gonna be a whole lot better.
I agree, Verena.
But that's what I had to say, y'all.
Thank you, Verena. Yeah, we
All
about
right,
to
Yeah.
wrap
y'all.
it up. Oh, I thought I cut somebody off. Okay, she dropped down. Okay, who's next for the final thoughts? And I'm gonna read your comments. I'll read from I said what I said. Shelly C and Lady Janice when these ladies wrap it up. You ready, Bank?
Yes, I just wanted to say that and it's kind of, of course, some of us, a lot of us are in the, we've been dealing with this, the Shirley Nesto,
Yeah,
the complicated relationship, and it's universal. Like that's why I was saying, a lot of people think that we're hard on Shirley. I just say we're just giving perspective. And the same thing with Peyton. She's showing us a different side of how she could have been set up with the next Nesto or to be the next Shirley or something like that. And
hmm
I think, I think I'm a part of a sisterhood with my other black female ladies out there. So I feel like if I know something or I have some opinion that hopefully is constructive and helpful, we could just throw it around and talk about it because somebody is out there listening who may
yeah,
need to hear it. And, Verena, being around my age and she says she's out there dating. And it's like, well, that's good. I don't know somebody who's because actually a lot of women my age and a lot of my closest friends, we're both single and don't have any kids and we're not out there dating. It's like, it is kind of weird, but it's like, how do I even navigate the dating world? So I do like
yeah,
this platform that you do have, Lady T Bug, because when we do talk, even when we talking about Nesto stuff or no matter what, we kind of bring it around to giving some sage advice or sharing our opinions that are constructive and are useful. And so I really do like that you brought this Peyton Charles story time because this is probably the only way I would have watched it because like I said, I don't really watch her content. I do every now and again see her thumbnails and I love her aesthetic and I like what she's doing. Somebody's trying to get into like the lifestyle blogging and that girly blog and the soft life, if you want to look at a business model and how to follow it, I think she does that really well. But at the end of the day, she is a woman. She's only human. And her being vulnerable, even though I think she made some bad choices, and I hope moving forward that she is done with this ninja because it sounds like that she has been able to step away and walk away. Now I know she stepped out of the last one into this one, but maybe
yeah,
she can separate because this man sounds like I said he sounds like he could be dangerous. And so again, I think this was a good story time to share, and I do like the story times. It kind of gives us a break from the other
yeah.
stuff. So that
I
was
agree
my last
with you on
thought.
that one.
And thank you as usual. And panel, you guys were great. Sunshine, Verena, Shan, Vicky. I enjoyed my time up here on the porch. And Lady T Bug, thanks for having me as a guest.
All right, thank you, Bank.
Mhm.
Vicky, you ready? There you go. You off mute, but I don't hear you, Vicky.
Can you
Okay,
hear me now? Hear me
yes,
now? Okay. I just say like when I said that you need to take time to in between relationships, time is is a broad need has a broad meaning to me when it comes to relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Time can mean time to to connect spiritually with whatever you believe in. Time can mean tap into your own personal mind state, like where you're at, how the ending of that relationship made you feel, what red flags did you miss, and just time to love yourself once again. Because a lot of times we jump into these relationships and we don't properly love ourselves. We're so eager to be coupled up and we get beholden to what society thinks that you, especially us being black, like you are supposed to have a man. Like that's kind of like the standard. You're supposed to have a man. You're supposed to, whether you married to him or not, you're supposed to have a man, 2.5 kids, and you're supposed to be balling. That's today's standards. You if you ain't got all that, you're supposed to drive a BMW and have Van Cleef draped, or draped in Chanel just all over you. You're supposed to live a certain standard, and living up to today's standards can sometimes get you in the wrong place. I think it's okay to be single because a lot of people are not they're mature enough to handle the type of love that you're ready to give. And you're not equipped for you. Maybe you're not mature enough to sometimes handle the type of love that another person is ready to give. Because it's crazy when if you ever been with like somebody who is very very emotionally mature and emotionally stable, and then you realize that you're not there yet, it's jarring. So sometimes men will see that and take advantage of that. And I think he took her vulnerabilities and use them against her, especially with God. So one lesson I learned a long time ago is after all that closure stuff, you find out your man is cheating, and the other girl like informs you that boom, I got your boyfriend, I got your man, have him. He's all yours because all that meeting up stuff, it's just a recipe for disaster. And if a man shows any signs to you, like, or tells you anything about harming another woman, unless it's for, total defense of life, girl, get the hell up out of there or call the police. But it just like maybe I'm just an old lady at this point. Maybe I'm just an old lady. I just think that you don't need to be jumping into relationships. I used to tell my friend, I had a friend who she break up with a guy and within 2 weeks she'd be with another guy. Like, I mean, she was in love with every single guy. She would like jump into serious relationships, and I would tell her constantly, I was like, hey, excuse me for being vulgar, like, girl, give your pussy a break. Because it just seemed like she just couldn't stop. And I think some people are just so love thirsty and they don't really understand true love. But I mean, I hope the best for her. I mean, she seems like an okay person. She seems like she's got it together. But I do wish the best for everybody who is open for love, but not searching for love. Because I think when you search, you tend to ignore the red flags. And maybe this relationship, her talking about it, is going to help her slow down a little bit and start recognizing and like do the work on herself and give herself time to work on, like, okay, I can't ignore those red flags. And it goes back to those like red flags that we talked about a couple days ago. And like with Shirley, when she's like she ignores red flags all the time. Like, you can't ignore them in today's society because they just become like they go from flags to banners. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I just appreciate you. This was interesting. I don't watch this young lady. I'm not. I've heard her name before, and I think I am subscribed to her because someone recommended her. But I'm not really into like the too much into. I do kind of. I like watching the drag queens, like the get ready with me, that kind of stuff. But I don't really watch the soft girl stuff too much. But
Hmm.
but thank you for bringing the story up because it also it makes me get back to my work about like my own personal work. Like, okay, am I really ready to get into a relationship? Will I jump in 8 feet deep into a relationship? You know what I'm saying?
Deep.
So, good night, y'all. Have a good one. Thank
All
you, Lady
right.
C
Thank
Bug.
you, Vicky. And I think Shan may not have a last thought. She's still up here though. Shan, if you want to jump in, let me know. She may have stepped away. She sent the message saying she probably was going to step away, but we'll see. All right, let me go back up to my big sis. Right, with the beer bellies, no working Peter, and a lot of pride. Do they have a pension about saying what I said? That's exactly why. Yeah, why loving yourself. I'll say loving yourself. You have to learn to love yourself. Maybe it's the best place to be. Saying I'm by myself is okay. Put it on repeat. Put it on repeat. Yeah, and you do have to know what makes you happy. And I think that starts with dating yourself, knowing yourself, loving yourself, and just knowing, the things that make you happy. So when you are with someone else, you know those things about yourself and you don't lose those things about yourself, okay? We pick the man who fills our voids, our traumas, and we don't see the other 98 red flags that have caused our voids is filled. Okay, I can see that. Our traumas is suppressed and we feel complete. I get it. Okay, we want to keep that feeling. Say a word, sis. I think that was for Verena. Then bank. Okay. Thanks for allowing me to speak on the panel. Anytime, Verena. And I'm going to just go ahead and say it. Verena is a Leo. I put it in the chat. Yeah, nobody's perfect, but let's keep the accountability on self and the person that really hurt you. That's true. You got to let that hurt go, sis. Thanks for the insight, Vicky. To other ladies that were on the panel, you all had great insight. So true, Vicky. Today you supposed to be the Cleavers on Leave It to Beaver, June and Ward 2.0. That's too much, right, Vicky? Exactly. Oh, my sis, Miss Boogie Down. I really appreciate and enjoy the panel talks. Black women, it's okay for us to say no thanks and not settle for whatever. Okay, for the sake of having a man, enjoy having me time and knowing yourself. I agree with that, Miss Boogie Down. Thank you. Good night, Vic. You definitely need to love yourself first, but not in a conceited manner. Why not? Be selfish in a way that will not make you settle for less. Yes, be a little selfish. All right, y'all. Good night. It's midnight here where I am, and I'm not sleepy, but I'm gonna get up off of the porch. Thank y'all for joining me for Saturday Night Live, going into Set It Off Sunday. I'll see y'all later on today. We are bringing Dre back. We're going to wrap it up with him and Nisto. Okay. Thank y'all. Good night. I'll see y'all later since it's past midnight here.